All right, yo, welcome to the Caution Stalling podcast. This is your host, Daniel Osorio. Some of you guys might know me as Coach O. Um, First thing is, the podcast is going to be about sports. I grew my whole life growing up. That is kind of what surrounded my life. I played football, wrestling, baseball, soccer, and I kind of dove into a lot of other things. So the purpose of this is to create dialogue. What I have most fun about in the sports community is the conversations that happen between two people. So on this podcast, we'll be doing a lot of interviewing, and although we're going to specialize in wrestling and baseball because those are my favorite sports, specifically wrestling, the topic will mostly be about whatever sport that our interviewer or guest is or in the field of. So with that being said, I am a Las Vegas native. I played several sports growing up. I got into wrestling because our guest is in that field. I got into wrestling 100% to build my relationship with my older brother because he wrestled, and it was something that I was very interested in doing, was getting close to him. But growing up, my favorite sport was football. I played 1 year of baseball before high school, and I'm super grateful for wrestling because it allowed me to pursue my dreams and being a collegiate athlete in baseball. So without further ado, our first guest of the Caution Stalling podcast is going to be Zach Hocker. Zach has 17 years of coaching experience, 13 as a head coach. He's been on staff for 5 state championship teams, and 12 of the 12 years he's been in the top 3 finishes. His dual record is 234 to 51. He's a 4-time Coach of the Year award winner, and he is the pioneer to starting the UNLV club wrestling program. Give it up for Zach.
Hey, what's up, man?
So before we dig into this, I want you to kind of tell me how you got involved in wrestling and ultimately how that led to you being a coach for wrestling.
Go back to like 1995. I'm going through my dad's, stuff as kids do, just being curious. And I came across a little tin full of medals, and they're all first place. And I thought they were really cool. And I asked my dad, I said, hey, how'd you get these? And I noticed there were wrestlers on it. It looked like the medals back then were all unique, man. They all had like actual wrestlers on them, and they had where you were, what year, your weight, everything was perfect. It was pretty cool.
Sounds way better than today's.
Yeah, everybody gets a medal now.
Yeah.
But he says, well, Zach, you have to earn them. And he goes, would you like to learn how to earn them? I said, yeah. So he took me up to Las Vegas High School, and we got on Roger Brooks' youth team, and I learned a head and arm for a whole year. And my dad and my grandpa, before he passed, decided that it would be better for my dad to just start his own team because he'd be able to teach, what I needed to know. So he started a team at Valley called the Valley Viking Wrestling Team. We were the youth wrestlers at Valley. Eric Thomas, I believe, was the head coach at Valley at the time.
I don't mean to cut you off, but this is all back when club was designated per high school run,
per high
correct?
school, yeah. There was one that wasn't. I think it was Doolittle, the Doolittle wrestling program, but every other one was at a high school, and it was very community-based, right? So most of the time you'd get the kids that were in that zone or around that zone to come and wrestle for those schools. We were still in Desert Pines' zone, and then we moved to Vegas' zone. And
in baseball, we call that feeder programs. So
yeah,
it's
feeders.
funny how that works.
Yeah. And so I started wrestling, and, I wasn't very good to start, and my dad kept after it. My dad actually started the team, but he had all of his high school teammates as coaches. It was really cool. So Joel Collins was a state champion at Vegas. My uncle Bobby Ozuna was a state runner-up. Steve Klemmer was a state runner-up at Vegas, one of the best wrestlers to ever come through Vegas to not win a state championship. And these guys were all my coaches. And then we had a slew of other dads, and spent 3 years there, 2 years at Desert Pines when Eric Thomas left to go back to Green Valley. We went to Desert Pines. We were going to go to Vegas. It didn't work out, and we spent 2 years there, and that's how my wrestling career started.
So how did that translate into you being a coach?
Being a coach, well, my dad was my coach my whole life, man. Like, I watched him, and I learned a lot. And I wrestled in high school, and I earned a scholarship. I came back home early. Not my proudest moment, My high school coach, Eric Thomas, who had made his way from Valley to Green Valley and then to Vegas High School my senior year where I took state for him. He called me up and he goes, "Hey, do you want to be an assistant of an assistant on JV?" And I go, "I don't know, coach. Like, I don't know what I have to offer." He goes, "You're too good to sit on the shelf." He goes, "Come help some kids." I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "All you got to do is come in and be a partner. Come in and wrestle some of these kids and help them learn the way." And I was like, "All right." So I got my paperwork done, and I came in. I was in college, working 3 other jobs, and started coaching as the JV's assistant to an assistant. I was the lowest man on the totem pole.
We all got to start somewhere, but that's funny that we bring that up. So in my world, when we go into baseball, it's said that the role players or anybody that has like a key assignment off a bench, those are typically your best managers, other than one starting position. Luckily for me, that happens to be catchers are the dominant managers. So for me, it was kind of weird, man. To make a long story short, man, I was pretty self-centered. I would say that I had a heart of gold and a big heart. However, like to care about somebody else's growth or training was not something that was anywhere on my priority list. So when I had the hardest summer of my life in between year 2 to 3, right before I found out that I needed reconstructive surgery on my shoulder, I was asked to to teach a third baseman how to become a catcher, right? And I neglected it. I did not want to do it, but ultimately I ended up just doing that. The coach couldn't finish the season, and I found out showing up to a game to drop off the equipment because I had finished the last practice. And it was when the coach asked me to take over, I was not happy. I did not want to do it. I brought all the players in and told them they were going to forfeit it. It was not something I was interested in. My job was to make one kid into a catcher, and as far as I was concerned, he was their best defensive player. So my job was pretty much done, right? It took for a kid that I had hardly interacted with during practice he actually broke down in tears and asked me to do it because I was the best coach that they had. And it was weird to me because I didn't interact with the whole team. I specifically went there for one kid to transition him from a third baseman to a catcher. And so I stuck it out. I took the team over at 2-9. We finished the year at 17-11. We lost the Bronze Legion game final to Chaparral. They had a collegiate guy on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
Our guy who ended up pitching in college was only a sophomore, but he threw the semis to get us to the final, so we didn't really have much for him. But I was super stoked about it because we lost 3-2 to a collegiate kid, and man, it was super cool. But at that point, I still didn't want to coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still didn't think it was in the cards for me. But after that experience, and then when I had verbally committed to the University of Jamestown in North Dakota. They were like number 3 in AIA at the time. Man, I graduated with my associate's degree, like a 3.89. It was a super high GPA, probably the best I've ever done. So I was paying maybe $2,000 to attend a 4-year. And when I was going through the rehab, they denied my eligibility because I had owed Barstow Community College like $600, but I had already cut it down from like over $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
So they denied me for it, which I couldn't understand because like I had never missed a payment, nothing. So to give me eligibility at my new school, it brought me into a spot because my oldest son Yadier was on the verge of being born, and I had a decision to make. So after like a lot of time thinking about it, one of my coaches had told me in a practice, we had the single A head manager for the Mariners. He was good buddies with my last school's head coach, so he had came down, and when we were doing our catching drills, because the guy was a former catcher, he had pulled me aside to my head coach, and my head coach is like, I can't teach this kid anything on the defensive side. He's light years. He knows my defense better than I do. He tells me how to run stuff. So I really took that to heart. It's like the best compliment I could ever get because I wasn't much of a hitter. I had a lot of pop, man, but swing and miss rate, hitting 210, nobody's going to bat an eye over that.
Better than me.
In my world, though, no one's going to bat an eye over that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a defensive catcher. I have barely, I would say, above average arm. It was nothing phenomenal. Like, I didn't wow anybody, throwing people out, nothing like that. I was a great receiver, great blocker. I did great with my pitching staff. So at that point, like, that was the coolest compliment I could ever get. So when I made the decision to walk away from baseball, because I never wanted to go pro, as like cliche as that sounds, it was never my goal. My goal was to always get back to where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured maybe this is what my calling was to do, because everything I'd ever seen in my faith, everybody was transformed into something else, or what the opposite of what they originated as.
Yeah.
So I gave coaching a try, started at DP. Things didn't work out there. I wouldn't say anything negative about it. It was a great learning experience. I know in my second year we were picked to win state, and unfortunately we came up short of that. But a lot of the things that I thought I could do, I had really started. Like our ace pitcher was pushed aside, and then he became like the man, pitcher of the year.
Yeah.
He signed to the number 10 university at the time. He goes and does it. He's the only freshman to make the team. So he had, I think, 103 strikeout, 101 or 103. It's one of those two. He blew everybody out by a mile when it came to ERA and stuff like that. Like, he was just our guy.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, for as many wins as he had, we could have doubled them had we scored for him. But he was winning games 3-0, 2-0, 1-0.
Just
like,
on his arm.
As soon as we got on the board, like, Steven, ball game. You know what I mean? That's the kind of guy we had. And from there on, I kind of set the trajectory. Like, everything I planned to do, I was going to do. It was also at that moment where I realized, with my first signing, Roderick, when he got a scholarship offer from Sunrise High School, in the baseball world, they're not thought of very high.
Mm-hmm.
But he signed a scholarship to NAIA school in San Diego. That was kind of the moment where I had to make the decision, was I going to try and be a winning coach, or was I going to try and be, like, a man of my morals, where my only goal when I decided I was going to do this and I made the decision to do this for real, I was going to be the man I needed at all costs. So, a lot of my players run into the time where they hate me. But for me, when you have aspirations and goals and you tell somebody, you had the courage to tell somebody. So me as a person, doesn't matter how outrageous it is.
Hold them accountable.
Yes, but they're coming to me for a reason with this. This takes a lot of courage. I didn't have anybody to tell this to. I didn't think anybody cared. So when they tell me that, you know what I mean, it's a personal thing. So when I see the price tag of whatever that goal is, I pay it full, like, without a doubt. I'm very difficult to play for. I have a very structured contract, things that when you say you want to live a lifestyle, my contract is going to be that lifestyle. There is no ifs, ands, buts, whats. When you play for me, the responsibilities and accountabilities of everything we do right and wrong, you will be held to the standard no matter what. So if it costs the ultimate price, right, and you'll understand this as a coach, and most of my players don't until they leave me, the ultimate price is the relationships that you build, and, like, the way I refer to it is in the trenches. When I go to war with these kids, right? And if it comes at the price of our relationship where we no longer speak, I'll do it every day of the week. Why? Because that goal, that aspiration that they brought to me, it's bigger. So my feelings don't matter. I've always been somebody so mentally strong because of wrestling, to where regardless of the toll it takes, it has to get done. The job has to get done, no matter what. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's crazy how it kind of worked out for you. It was the complete opposite of me. I didn't imagine I'd be this far. Now they even have talked me into coaching wrestling. So, yeah, I do wrestling. I coach baseball. I've been at El Dorado for several years now. I got talked into helping the youth out at LOG. I mess around with the high school room a couple times. Not too much, man. I do overtime and stuff like crazy, so I'm burning out. However, that will lead us right into our next segment. It's called Blast, all right? So this is a wrestling term because you are in the wrestling field. I actually named it Blast for in honor of my son. It's his favorite takedown move, blast double. So it's like rapid fire. When I ask you this question, I want the answer that comes straight from your heart,
Okay.
right away. So as soon as I square up this question, fire it. All right. So our first question: who is your favorite wrestler
Ever?
ever?
Probably.
It could be high school, it could be collegiate, it could be Jordan Burroughs. It doesn't matter. In your heart, who's number one?
Greg Gifford.
Greg Gifford?
Yeah.
That's interesting, man. Not to get off task here, but when we were at our first club, ATC, I think Greg really sparked the love for wrestling for my oldest son Yachty. And when the boys wanted to step away and go into a different route of wrestling, and we did with LOG, the number one thing, even when I met you, I told you I was really worried that I had ruined a relationship. Not that they hate each other or they dislike or Greg dislikes us, nothing like that. It was 100% like I really believe when you find your person as in a coach, they can make you move mountains.
Yeah.
And I was really worried I had done that. Or I allowed my kids to make a decision. But it actually worked out with you kind of filling that role. And it reminds me so much of Yachty and Greg with Zach and Yachty. Like it's crazy that you said that answer, and I just want to know, or you to know, how thankful I am for that specifically.
Yeah.
All right, so number 2, what is your favorite meal to eat before competing?
I eat Subway. I have a turkey sandwich with provolone, not a whole lot on it, with that vitamin water. And that's what I would eat. Just it's clean and it's easy to digest the night before. Now you're talking day of, I eat a bagel with no cream cheese.
Yeah, that's funny because where I'm from, North Las Vegas, we would call that a poor boy sandwich.
Yeah,
cheese and meat and bread.
Poor boys, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So the poor boy sandwich. I cannot relate to this. When we talked about the questions that we'd rapid fire you, I personally don't eat before competing. I want to know what it's like to be nothing and have nothing. I feel that it gives me a mental edge to where I'm from and the things that I have experienced in my life. So I refuse to actually eat. In college, I would not eat. If we played at 12, I wouldn't eat until the game was over. If we played at 6 p.m., I wouldn't eat till the game was over. If we had a doubleheader scrimmage in the fall, playing fall ball, I would not eat until it was completed. Cause
it's interesting you say that because, this is why they take you out to dinner before they fire you, right? Because you're more docile after you eat. You're actually like at your heightened sense when you're hungry. So it's interesting you say that, yeah.
I just pitch the concept to even my athletes now. When we do the things that we do, right? Wrestling specifically is so hard to show up for every day. It is so demanding mentally, physically, so that we have to have a reason why we do things, right? And if it's a selfish reason, once you complete that, then what? So if it's something like being a state champ,
once you check that box,
once you check it, then what happens next?
Right.
So my whole goal was to always make where I was from better. So I would never let myself forget the things that I go through. Like here's a really odd one. You probably never heard this before. Everybody looks at me weird for this one. When things are going too good in my life, I will sleep on the floor. So I remind myself.
Yeah, not to get too comfortable.
What the lows were like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm just mentally loose, I guess.
Yeah.
So, all right, question number 3. What is your go-to song? Whether it's competing, training. I know, to me, training's harder than actually competing. So, whatever your go-to song, what is it?
So I actually don't know the name of the song. It's a Linkin Park song, but I had a CD Walkman, Sony CD Walkman, that had bass boost on it. And there's a specific song, and it doesn't happen on my truck now. I've got these great Alpine speakers, but there was a song, and my dad bought me the Walkman. I'd had the bass boost on, and when you have the headphones in it, it would go, dun, 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 and it would just like spark something in me. And then it's yelling, it's Linkin Park, it's whiny, but the bass and the beat is what I was listening to, and that would get me really hyped up. I think it was track 4 on Meteora. Yeah.
So my go-to song was "Till I Collapse," but I will tell you, my favorite rapper came out with my favorite song, "Wild Boy," and I don't remember anybody's walkout songs except for one, and you know who he is. I was so jealous of it because the song came out 3 months after I graduated. Alex Anicetti came out to Wild Boy for the region finals because I was there to watch my cousin Fabian. I was so jealous of it, man. That is my song.
It hit,
I
yeah.
graduate. I was just a little old, I guess. But man, that would have been dope for me if I had ever gotten to an opportunity to play. I wish it would have been Wild Boy.
Mm.
All right, so our last question here. Favorite shoe ever?
Favorite shoe ever?
Wrestling shoe.
Just the Inflex, honestly, Nike Inflex. I only wore. It's funny, in high school I would wear the Dick's Sporting Goods or the Sports Authority Asics, so they were $50, right? So I took state in a pair of $50 shoes. So
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, I like Inflex and Freaks.
I'm pretty sure if you offered a state championship and some really cheap shoes to a lot of kids, they'd take that deal in a heartbeat. So. All right, so we get into the body of this, and I want everybody to kind of understand you. So, in the first two, we kind of went over in a basic is wrestling. Out of all the sports that you encountered in your life and participated in, why did wrestling stick out?
I'm a history guy. I believe that it's the most pure form of combat. You can look back in history, and in Egypt they had wrestling, right? In Mesopotamia they had wrestling. In Greece, obviously the Olympics were born, and I like to.
It's literally the name, Greco-Roman.
Yeah, exactly, and I like to be. It's pure. You know what I mean? It's pure. I mean, I don't know how you grew up. We never had more than we needed, right? God has always provided exactly what we needed, right? But we never had more.
Yeah.
Right. So. I always had a chip on my shoulder, being at Vegas, being a quote-unquote poor school, right? Wrestling Green Valley kids or, Coronado kids or upper middle class, right? Because they had more. And what I was taught is they had more opportunity than me because of who they came from. But I could tell you right now, on the football field, gridiron, right, and on the wrestling mat, none of that mattered.
Yeah.
I don't care who you know. I don't care your network. I don't care how much money your parents have. I don't care how popular you are at school. I'm going to beat you down.
Yeah.
And that's the great equalizer. You go out there. It's a sport of respect, really, because you have to shake hands, right? And then you agree to combat. You agree to fight. And you go until someone wins. And I think it's just the most pure form of sportsmanship that we have.
So, for me, it's not the same. I think... Unfortunately for me, like the concept of wrestling, what I had was the relationship with my brother. Now, we're only half brothers. However, I was closest to my sister, who is full blood with him, and he was older. He's 10 years older. So when he was in his wrestling days, like our relationship, I wouldn't say it was non-existent, but it wasn't strong because he was doing his thing, and I was in the. Everybody knew in my family, like, Daniel's going to play football.
Mm-hmm.
I played football so tough that the translation to wrestling is I'm kind of what you think it is. Like, to get cut open, oh, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I down block with my head, I have no problem with it. Black eyes, I thrive in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's in the toughness aspect.
Yeah.
Like, the technique and stuff, man, I can't score points. I can't score points on my own. Like, I was the defender. So, like, I loved wrestling with the better kids, the state qualifiers, the state champs. Every time, I love the fighting part. But my favorite part about wrestling is much deeper. Wrestling, for me, my favorite sport, and the reason it is so, the easiest way to explain this is there's one cartoon in my life that I watch, right? And my favorite character in that is Vegeta. It's Dragon Ball. Vegeta from Dragon Ball is my absolute favorite. And I used to like not look up to him, but I thrived with him because he was always overcoming. Nothing was ever given. He earned everything. Like when Goku became Super Saiyan God, Vegeta had to do it on his own.
Mm-hmm.
There was a ritual for Goku. Vegeta just got it done.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, wrestling unlocked and broke all these limitations that I thought existed.
Yeah.
So for football, I was playing tough just because I felt like that was the way out for me. And in wrestling, like, for me to be a college athlete in baseball only happened because of my experience in wrestling. I only played 4 years of baseball. I played 1 year, but I don't count it because I hated every day of going. There was no growth. I couldn't stand it. I just happened to be best friends with the kid whose dad ran a team, and then I make the all-star team, and I was so upset about that. My mom made me try out. I was so mad when the list came out and I was on it. I did not want to play in it. I didn't want to play baseball. I couldn't stand it. You know what I mean? There's nothing tough about it until I put on catching gear. And then when I became a catcher, I was good. And then I really embraced the lifestyle. And
Catchers are tough.
I embraced the lifestyle of wrestling though. So it made me a wrestler on the diamond.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything I was scared of.
Wrestling translates to every other sport.
Everything. It's real life.
Yeah.
And I tell all my athletes, like they ask me, Coach, why do we do so much in baseball, like working out wise? I run it like I run a wrestling practice. And the reason is because I want you to understand
limits.
To breaking limits, and I want them to understand what they dream of is absolutely reality, but you have to live this way.
Yeah.
And that's what wrestling does. When you show up for an easy day, what is that, a 3 to 5 pound practice? That's easy days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hard days are 5 to 8.
Yeah.
And then you got to go cut the weight if you're a weight cutter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So wrestling for me it defines what it's like to break limitations and become everything that you ever thought you could be and make it a reality. So that's why wrestling's so important to me and why it's my favorite sport, why I wanted my boys to encounter it first. And lucky for me, man, my oldest lives and breathes this.
Yeah.
Yachty loves this. No, I'm still praying for it. He doesn't ask to not come to practice anymore. He doesn't fake injuries. He doesn't cry anymore. So I think we're trending, but I'm still hopeful that he absolutely loves this. He's more interested in like UFC stuff.
Yeah.
So he understands that wrestling will pave
There's
the way.
Translation, yeah.
Yeah. And most of our dominant champions in the UFC are wrestlers. That's the foundation.
Yeah.
So that's what we're preaching to him, So it's working out in my favor so far, or in my hopes. Now, from you as a wrestler, and you could have done so many career things, right? Going to college, getting your degrees. I know you went back to school. Why did you center your life around being a coach? Like, why was this the career field you chose?
Man,
because it doesn't pay anything for anybody that's listening. In Nevada, you're doing it for free, $99.
Yeah, 99% of the time. Actually, I think me and my dad have donated more. We definitely have donated a lot of money. But it's I wanted to give back to the community that raised me. That's the saying that I just always come back to. My dad told me, Zach, what are you going to do for the community that gave to you?
Yeah.
Right. And see, I grew up in a different type of community than is present today. Right. It's this generation is a lot different. They're better wrestlers. Right. But I grew up, my dad, we paid one fee. We paid for our USA card, and then we got our gear, and that's what we did all year, right? And we'd go all over the country. It was an avenue to get out of Las Vegas and experience the rest of the world, right? Or the rest of the United States. And I wanted to give the opportunity to other kids that I got, And honestly, I wanted to be an electrical engineer. I was going to go work where my father-in-law worked in JT3. Now it's JT4. And then I wanted to be a corrections officer or a police officer. And I just kept having doors close on my face. And I asked God, what am I supposed to do here? Right? Like, what am I good at? And I'm only good at wrestling. I'm good at teaching. I'm good at motivating. So I honestly, that's it, man. I fell in love with the underdog story. My favorite thing to do is to take a kid that's not supposed to win and get him to win. It is the only thing I really enjoy about coaching is taking somebody that's not supposed to and making him get it, right? Getting him to that pinnacle. But yeah, coaching is an avenue that gives you the ability to impact lives, both positively and negatively. Like you can have great impacts on kids, you can have not so great impacts on kids, but it all grows them. Right?
Yeah. I kind of already said mine. I just want to be the man I needed. I understand like all the long nights and all my hardships that I encountered. Like I don't want anybody to think, there's a life that could have been significantly worse than mine, right? And credit all to my superhero, my mom, who just like went and got it. Whatever that needed to be done, she made it happen. So,
Praise God for our moms, huh?
Yeah. So like paying the bills. She figured out how to get just enough to have the power on one more month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when it came to things like, hey coach, like one of my players will make excuses like, hey coach, like it's hard for me to get to club. Well, I took the bus. You know how hard it was to a catcher's bag with the bat on it, and bus drivers telling me that's a weapon, that I can't do it, but I did it anyway. Like, I figured it out.
Overcome.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, in the hardship that I dealt, I know I did my own recruitment. I didn't have a coach that could elevate me as a catcher because the places I played. I couldn't afford to be a part of a club team, so I was a permanent like guest player, right? To have one-on-one private coaching, like, it wasn't in the cards. You know,
Me either.
for my mom to get me the newest cleats, that was a process of like saving, because my mom's just, lucky for me, is gangster, bro. Like, you know, what, you know,
Hustle.
like
Make it
I could,
happen.
my mom would just figure out how to make it happen. So for this kind of stuff, I understand that a lot of these battles that we go through, like, there is no answer.
Yeah.
So my only goal of being this coach is I'm the answer. Like, getting paid. I don't keep the stipend.
Yeah.
I give it to
back.
assigned senior because I understand what it was like for me.
That's amazing.
Every year or every season that we do in baseball, so whether it's fall, winter, summer, you know, the actual season, I buy a pro leather glove for one of our players at El
That's
Dorado,
cool, man.
because what's a mechanic without his tools? Because I know, my mom will tell you, I used to have cut up knees and bruised really bad from all the blocking as a catcher I would do. There's an umpire that's not, I wouldn't say he's not well liked, but there's some people that really push back to him. His name's Whitey. I'll never forget him, and I will respect him no matter how bad a call, how bad a game might have went for him. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I hear word of mouth of how, or anybody that will just poop on his name.
Yeah. What did he do for you?
My senior year, I had holes in my catching gear and my leg guards. And after the game, he told me I was the only reason he liked getting Canyon Springs games, so he gave me brand new gear.
No way.
Whitey was a catcher in his day.
That's cool.
He coached at UNLV, coached at Arbor. You know, so no matter what is said about him, like, that's why I do the glove, because it changed everything.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
it changed everything for me. It was like somebody actually cared about me, right? Because I never was an all-conference player because Bryce Harper was in our conference.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter the year I had.
Call out to Vegas.
Yeah.
Let's go, Vegas.
So it didn't matter what I did. Bryce Harper was going to triple.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? Like, the Sports Illustrated is against Canyon Springs. It's against us.
No way.
The bomb to the fire
That's
truck,
so
that's
funny.
against us.
That's so
You know what I
funny.
mean? So I just want to be, and
The guy.
I let you actually read it because coach to coach, I do senior letters and I thank them for all their time they do in the program. Well, I was holding on to an image. It's Luigi, where Luigi grabs the sewer cap and he protects Mario from Bowser's flames. And my only goal, and the reason that's relevant, is I was waiting to give that to a kid that absolutely, like, from top to bottom changed his life. And, you know, his mom is very vocal that I was the reason for it. So, you know, ultimately, I got into this and I'm still in it. I'm going pretty strong. I am going to venture off into other things, though, but I just want to be Luigi for kids like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's become, like, very personal.
That's cool.
It's the only reason I can keep going. My why is much bigger than any wins, losses.
Yeah.
Like, Sam Thomas just got his 500th win.
Yeah. Super cool.
Great.
Congrats. I love Sam.
Dude, it's a career. However, for me, I'm either going to barely break 100 or flirt with it, but I don't care. Like, winning is defined by the person,
If
right?
you talk to Sam, he doesn't care.
Oh, no, dude, me and Sam have a great relationship.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just saying, and generally speaking, everybody likes a winner.
Yeah.
The only thing that ever mattered, man, was to getting these kids to their ultimate dream.
Yeah.
What am I most proud of is one of the greatest questions a captain's ever asked me on our Meet the Players series that we do every season. It said, what are you most proud of in the program since you've been at El Dorado? I have 2 kids that became fathers while being high schoolers. They have owned every single bit of it. Their wives are taken care of. The babies are taken care of. Unfortunately, one had a split. However, he hasn't missed a beat on being dad. So that, you know, I always use the correlation with my players. Like, the hardest thing to do in this world is be a father, because you have to own all the responsibilities. Your wife needs the attention. There's so many tasks that you have to do. No one understands, and except for fathers.
Yeah.
So that's what I build them to be, is when God calls for their time to be a father, that they own every bit of it.
They'll be ready.
And right now I'm 2 for 2. So
Nice.
that's what I'm most proud for. So shout out Andy and shout out Brandon. That will go right into the next topic. This one's gonna be the fun one, man. So
Okay.
I just want you to talk about Nevada wrestling, like,
Okay.
just as a whole. You can call out specific people. I can tell you that, you know, from being a coach there's two wrestlers that come to mind. They both attend Slam. They both have accomplished a lot of things. So on the girl side, Mika Yaffe, man, she is
That's my girl.
for about 2 or 3 years now. I think she's the best.
She pound for pound.
That's
100%.
I think so for the girls, and I think it's, I don't mean to put anybody down. We have a great talent pool.
No disrespect to anybody.
Yes, we have a great talent pool in the girls. However, man, I don't think somebody has a body of work, especially last year, of all the Titans, right, that she just took down, and she just keeps doing it. Like, the most impressive thing for me, I'm very symbolic and metaphorical. Watching her train, she runs wall to wall to wall to wall. So
Never cuts a corner. Never.
And
Never.
the reason she doesn't run around circles like everybody else is because she refuses to cut a corner because it's an easy way out. And I think that translates to why she is who she is. And I'm looking forward to seeing her senior run. I would bet she completes the 3-timers. I would bet that she.
Oh, she's gonna be a 3-timer.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm just interested to see how her year goes and where her college commitment can go. And then on the
wait.
Go ahead.
Let's hang on Mika. I want to just talk about this kiddo. All right. So Mika has had some of the greatest coaches in Nevada history in her corner, and coming from I can never remember his name, but coming from Pahrump, right? Guy got her ready. She went to Centennial. Steve Wyke, good close friend of mine, and Don McGregor both championed this young lady.
Yeah, when I came in, McGregor was, I only got to experience it for a year or two, and then he left. He's a younger guy.
Yeah. Don is also a good friend of mine. He is one of the best coaches I've ever seen.
Okay.
Not everybody's cup of tea. Definitely my cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion. I didn't get to meet him. I just know who he is. I could point him out.
He's a fun guy. But then she came to Slam, and I was fortunate enough to help out with the Slam Wrestling Club for about a season while my son first started there. And her and her brother Kenzo were on the team, and Kenzo beat the snot out of my son for like 3 straight practices, and I'm like, who is this kid? This kid's a monster, right? And then I noticed Mika, right? And she was just in this like shell headgear, right?
Yeah.
Never coming out of her stance. Nobody had to tell her, right? This is a 5th grader, right? Never coming out of her stance. Eye of the Tiger, man. Getting beat by boys, right? Wrestling with the Maestas boys. Wrestling with some of the better wrestlers from Slam in that youth program. You can probably, Nitani Prado.
Yeah, I've heard some stories about it.
Yeah, she is wrestling state champion boys.
Yeah.
Right? And hanging with them. Just taking her lumps.
This is a very short list of girls that I can name that have done similar things, and it's
Sterling
on one hand. Yeah, Sterling Diaz.
Yep.
Genevieve. I think she was the first girl placer in a 5A state bracket.
She's the first and only.
Oh yeah, see, there you go. I thought she was just the first. And then I know her and her sister Juliana. They were both the first girl placers at the Holiday Classic.
100%.
So yeah.
Tough individuals.
There's a list of these ones.
And I've had the distinct pleasure of coaching Mika since she came to LOG and I came to LOG in the inception. And I've coached her with a slew of other coaches, Coach Bill and all those guys have championed this young lady. And honestly, she's the only person besides Antonio Saldate that every bit of investment that I put in is cashed back tenfold.
Yeah.
I give her a minute, she makes it worth 10. Dude, she's the girl. She's the best.
I agree, man. She's her and Yachty have a good relationship. He takes very well to her. He actually was watching videos on her in our first week there, and that was pretty cool because I had talked to Shelby about
your wife.
Yeah, I had talked to Shelby about Yachty typically will find a couple wrestlers who he really looks up to and starts to like mimic the things they do. Whether he's only taken the style from Sterling. That's his absolute favorite wrestler, Sterling Diaz. But like when we were at ATC, he really took the grind from Cole Faircloth. Like, so I don't know if you've ever got to witness him other than just competing.
He's a machine.
Oh, the kid's a machine. I've never seen anything like this. Like, so all credit to Cole and shout out to Cole. But he really inspired Yachty to like embrace like what it was like to die on a mat in just a work ethic process. Not literally, but that's how I explain it because watching Cole was something else.
Yeah.
So I was super interested to see if Yachty would pick somebody at LOG. And on our third day, we get in the car and he's on Flow. I'm like, hey man, what are you watching, dude? Because he's like all into wrestling.
Watching Mika.
He was watching Mika.
Hell yeah.
So I thought that was super dope because I had told Shelby, I think, if I know Yachty and kind of how he operates, Mika's the kind of the one.
Yeah.
Right. And unfortunately, he's grown pretty close to Jackson, but Jackson wasn't there for like a week and a half. I think it was something to do with like an injury. I can't really recall, but he had missed, about, I don't know, 6-7 practices, maybe. Yeah. Maybe he was out of town. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But him and Yachty took off too. But Mika was the first one I got to, like, I think that's gonna be the next one, and it actually played fruition. Never talking to Yachty about it. So we love Mika, man. Yeah. Mika's the GOAT.
So my daughter was back when Miss Berryessa was doing the Nevada coverage, and doing like Wrestler of the Week and Wrestler of the Month stuff. My daughter Hannah was Wrestler of the Month, and so I said, baby, you just tell me what you want to say and I'll type it. And she said, a slew of other things, right? Like she likes to Pokemon hunt and all this other stuff. But this is, she goes, I can't wait to be like Sterling and Mika. And this is 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. So both of those girls.
That's so crazy because, from me coaching girls, like when as a coach, when you see it, you see it.
Oh, the real. Yeah.
I think Hannah is right in line. And,
we'll see.
But that's no pressure, right? And this is from an outside perspective. But if you ask Mika, it's because Sterling did it.
Yeah.
She wanted to be like Sterling. So it just like trickles down. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, the boy.
So as for the boys, man, we have some high-end talent.
Here.
I'm gonna go, not from this past year, not the season that just completed, because I think that'd be unfair to this new cycle as we move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Move on forward.
Yeah.
I am a super fan of Drake Cooley, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
Drake is
this kid is. I don't even care if anybody has him number one on pound for pound. I don't care about any of that.
Yeah, he's
watching this kid get after it it's so dope, man. Like I can't even put in this to words. Like shout out. I think he's our Nevada's first Big Ten commit.
Heck yeah.
Going to Purdue and all. But Drake is so fun to watch wrestle. And he talks to me every once in a while. He probably doesn't even know me by name. But when I see him, we chat a little bit, and this kid.
Oh, he lives wrestling, man.
See, I don't know him in depth.
Yeah.
We just say funny stuff together.
He's a hoot. I'll tell you.
I've talked to him like 3 times, man, and he's funny, dude.
Yeah.
And I've had the pleasure of seeing him win state a couple times. The first time I really got to see him was when he won Cimarron's final. He beat Lakeside.
Yeah.
Oh man, he put on a leg clinic. Yeah. One takedown, that was ball game.
Breaking it.
Ball game.
Mm-hmm.
So all shout out to Drake. I really like watching Satoshi. I think he's a killer in the making, man. Once he really like, honestly, when he just
freshman national champ. Come on, man.
When he just gets to the senior level, when he just gets to senior year, I just want to see what the product is.
Yeah.
Like I want to skip the boring parts. You know what I'm saying?
I never had the chance to coach Satoshi. I was around him, and he's a neat kid, man. I don't know him personally, but I'm a fan. Drake, on the other hand, had lots of heart-to-heart conversations with. He is hilarious. All right.
Yeah, that's all my.
Yeah, he is.
All my dealings with him are funny.
And I'll tell you, the last interaction I had with him was at state this year, and I was talking to a parent, trying to stay hidden, just trying not to be a distraction. And he comes up to me, chest bumps me. I was like, oh dang! And he goes, I go, dude, you need to be focusing on the match. He goes, man, I'm gonna go out and tech pin this kid. I don't need to worry about nothing. I was like, touche.
Yeah.
But Drake is he's the real deal.
Yeah.
In every facet of wrestling, man. He will go out there, and he's not content with a win. He wants to break you, and it's very Greg Gifford like.
Yeah.
Right. It's in your face for 6 minutes, trying to break you, and he wants not. There's a specific feeling, and you know this as a wrestler, right? I hate surviving matches.
Yeah. Right.
There's a point in a wrestling match.
Well, this is all I know.
Where the kid breaks. The person you're wrestling breaks.
Yeah.
I consider every wrestling match a tug of war. And eventually, one person says he's had enough.
Yeah.
And whether that's overtime, ultimate tiebreaker, whatever. Drake seeks that out. And you can tell when the kid gives up because their head hits the mat and he goes to town on him.
Yeah.
Just eats him up. I'm a big fan. Super proud of him. And I cannot wait to see what he does at the Big Ten.
I'm super stoked. I'm just glad Nevada has a blueprint now
Heck
of how
yeah.
to get to the Big Ten. So shout out Gold Rush, shout out Slam, and everybody that's helped this kid get to this level. I think it's amazing, especially for the state of Nevada. I am a little bit biased, man. I really like our top guy, Adrian Camarena. I'm not 100% if I'm saying that last name right. If you ask me 10 times, I'll probably say it 10 different times.
Right.
But Adrian is a workhorse.
Hey, man, I'm a fan of that kid, too. Anybody that's bringing a state title back to the franchise, the one that did it first, El Dorado, man, I'm a fan of.
He's our first state champ in years. I think it's 12. I don't want to misspeak.
2012 was the last one.
So 13?
13 years.
So in 13 years, he's our first one. His only losses were to
top-ranked guys.
Yep, 2 5A finalists, it's state finalists, 2 4A finalists, and then he lost to a close one to Woods.
What a stud he is too.
And 3A state finalist. So Adrian, we went to, he won state at 113. He did it, I don't like to talk down about anything, but he did it without question who the best at 113 was. He won a state final 11-2. Looked over to me. He's a pinner, but he took well to me. He did a lot with Coach Weiss's technique and with my mentality of grind.
Getting a major in the finals is big.
Yeah, he looked over to me, and I told him to go out the way he wanted, so he pinned the kid. I do believe he would have teched him if I had not, signaled it back.
Yeah.
Me and Weiss were so stoked, man, because Weiss put so much technical stuff into him, and I think Weiss did an amazing job. And
Weiss is a good coach.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know who he is, though.
I know him. I know him.
Yeah, all the important ones do know.
Yeah.
They tell me, and I'm like, man, I've never even talked to you about it.
Yeah.
However, Weiss is great, and he put a lot of time into Adrian, and with the conditioning and the mental breaking and resetting limitations, and putting the bar up for Adrian on my side. Oh man, he did it without question. It was not even did someone have a bad match? There was no question that he didn't answer to where he won in 3A at 113. So now we're
going to try to repeat for 4A.
Yeah. Now we're going for 4A. For anybody listening, he's going to go somewhere between 120, 126, and 132. Adrian will not duck anybody. He's not. I hope he goes 120, 126. Depending on what he looks like.
For him, I like that.
I want him to be happy. So whatever weight he chooses is the right weight, in my opinion. I don't believe in weight cutting, so if it can't be done in practice, we shouldn't talk about it.
Right.
Sometimes
it gets a little dangerous.
Sometimes it's a little necessary if you're a
national level tournaments, things like that. Yeah.
Or just a kid that's not very strong. Adrian's more on the technique, and if you're willing to go to deep ends, he will gladly go with you.
He needs a haircut.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I actually like him, man. I guys like Ben Askren, man. I have a mullet for over 10 years now. So anybody that can embrace their own character, I love it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Adrian, if that's his thing, man, it's his thing. I don't care for it.
Yeah.
However,
hey, he's a wild man.
I will, if I hope Adrian wants to wrestle in college. I know his aspirations are bigger than that. So we'll see, and I'm looking forward to all of what 4A has to offer. We do have a bone to pick with one of the 4A kids from Bonanza. He did beat us straight up, no questions asked.
Hey, go
so
get
we'll see if we can run that
Get
back.
after it, man.
And unfortunately, with the Vista one, we can run it back, but it won't be at a state because they moved up.
They earned their way to the highest
level.
level.
They killed it.
Yeah.
2 years now.
Yeah.
They've killed it. So he will
Brett
be in
Terry
5A.
is a good coach.
In 5A, they'll figure out how to repeat and do the things that they're doing as a team. So we'll get the run backs, I guess. But we're looking to build and have the most fun with it. And Adrian, man, I love to watch Adrian because he's willing to die. And it's not just a statement as his coach.
Well, and as a kid that you've built from scratch, that's the coolest part. Is he started wrestling in high school.
Yeah.
And those are the ones I'm sorry to cut you off, man. But
no, you're good. You're good.
I was talking to my mentor, Joe Petrie, and he was kind of trying to foster me and Greg as coaches. And he told me, he goes, because Eric Thomas is a big part of my life. Wasn't a vocal guy. He's a leader by action. and he goes, "Hey, who do you think Coach Thomas's favorite story is? Like, who is he most proud of?" Right? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, he's coached so many good kids, like Matt Conti, dude, undefeated state champion his junior year, right? He's coached some of the greatest.
Yeah.
Edgar Hernandez, one of my friends, he's state champ undefeated. You know what I mean? He's coached these guys. He goes, his name's Jeremy Daly. I was a friend of Jeremy's, right?
Yeah.
Jeremy took third in region and qualified for state. He didn't place.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, my head's rolling at 21 years old. I'm like, why? He goes, Zach, he built him.
Mm-hmm.
He built him
from
scratch. He's never wrestled, took in a step onto a mat. He built him.
Yeah.
And he went from 0-20 his freshman year to state qualifier. And that's back when state was a little bit harder. There was like 40 teams, right?
Well, I would argue it's hard because you have to go through slam.
Yeah. The all-star team is the best, right?
Yeah.
And
it's a dynasty.
At that time, it was Cimarron.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah. And before that, it was Mojave. And Nevada wrestling hasn't changed. The script has not changed. It's just different names and different teams,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Green Valley for 10 years was the dominant, right? Vegas was up there for a second. You know what I mean? We have had these dynastic teams, right? But he chose this kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this kid earned his way to state, and I think he won a match, right? And that's the guy he hung his hat on. So, congrats to you and Weiss for building the kid.
Yeah.
And getting him to the pinnacle. Getting him to the pinnacle of our sport. Mike Abrams is one of my personal heroes, one of my best friends. Love that man. And we were talking one day, and, I don't have a very high opinion of my own wrestling, right? And he goes, well, Hawk, you're a state champ. I go, yeah, but you're a national champ. He goes, hardest tournament to win is your own state tournament. It's the hardest tournament to win. He was never a state champ, right? So for a kid that's only wrestled in high school to do it his junior year, dude, kudos.
Yeah, so, he wrestled freshman. He started in high school. If you let Adrian tell it, every time they made him wrestle when he was younger, he quit right away. Yeah, he never saw it through.
Yeah.
But, when he walked in, he knew a little bit. Like, I would still say we built him.
That's your guy.
Yeah, I would still say that's our guy. Not knock to anybody that had hands on him before, but if your heart's not in it, as well. And any athlete
if he's not
knows.
Finishing the season, he's coming out and
if your heart
through a week and then leaving.
If your heart's not in it, what are you really learning? Because you don't care about it.
No,
You're just trying to get through.
people are forcing you.
Yeah, so what Adrian is, man. I think this is one of the first athletes that I've ever had. It's where like his losses hurt.
Yeah.
And his wins are like the highest of highs because, when you ask for an ideal kid, this kid's picture perfect, bro. Like,
I've had a few of those.
I can't put it into words. Like,
I get you.
If you told this kid that his 180% wasn't enough, he'd believe you and he'd figure out how to go 210.
How do you give more than 100%, Daniel?
You figure it out.
Okay.
When good enough's not good enough, you figure out what is good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And lucky for us, Adrian,
he's a workhorse.
Whatever water we got, he's drinking it, and he's bloating. Whatever you call it,
he's bought in.
He's bought in. So I am biased when it comes to Adrian. So, in one of our last discussions here in the interview process, what is something that you want to go over?
We've done all the Nevada stuff. Like, who do you see in the next 4 years being the college standout team?
Oh, this one's easy, man.
Okie State?
So, I know why you brought this up, man. We got to. Oh man, this is setting me up. Okay, so let's get into the backstory of this so everybody can keep up. I'm a person, man. Like, my favorite wrestler of all time will be, my brother. I love watching clips of him. I'll watch the same clip 100 times.
Ricardo's a beast.
It's my bloodline, man.
Yeah.
I look up to him because he achieved things.
What wall is he on?
Vegas' wall.
That's right.
Yes. So he was a Wildcat. And the reason I went to Canyon Springs is because I wanted to have my own legacy than my brother and my sister had.
Yeah.
Because
I get it.
I should have gone to Vegas. But, however, going back to this original topic, for anybody that knows, in college wrestling, I was a Hawkeye fan. And the reason I say I didn't truly pick a team. What I did is, my first son, he means so much to me, Yadier. His favorite wrestler is Sterling Diaz. Sterling went to Iowa. How life works out is crazy because Yachty had taken to Iowa, and the reason he took to Iowa is not because of Spencer Lee. So, we got to meet people, and they're all shocked when they find out why Yadier likes Iowa. Yadier was super soft wrestling in the young stages, and I don't mean like he wasn't tough. What I mean is he thought everything was like drilling. So as good as he was when he was younger, he'd shoot, and he'd get his takedown, he'd fight through it. But if you shot, he assumed it was a drill. Oh, I got it.
He let you take him down.
he would let you take him down and then work up and you know what I mean? Like, I think it's the young mind because he's nowhere like that now. Now, we got other growth problems. We got everything that we hope to sharpen up, everything like that, like everybody else does, right? Well, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying like every wrestler, until they chase, all the great ones chase perfection, right? And perfect doesn't exist.
Well, and there's always somebody better.
And that's why they're great, because they chase something with no finish line, right? And Yachty, he has chosen this to be his lifestyle, which is remarkable. But there was a wrestler on the Hawkeyes that really stood out to me to help Yachty on the tough aspect and the understanding of wrestling. It was Austin DeSanto. So Yachty had picked the Hawkeyes as his own. So because me and him were so close, I naturally took to the Hawkeyes, especially with Sterling going there. So we root for him, no problem. We love it, man. And Suriano leaves. So my overall favorite wrestler in collegiate is Suriano, right? He leaves. I mean, number one is always going to be my brother, but in the collegiate world, Suriano, he graduates. So it's time for me to pick a new guy. Well, I picked Casey Swinderski. No reason. I don't have any backstory. I'm barely getting into the depths of high school, of the national platform, all that.
Who's number one, right?
The first high school match I'd ever seen was who's number one? Mendez versus Swinderski.
Swinderski's not supposed to win.
The only reason I picked Swinderski was because the announcer just said Mendez is the favorite, and it's by a mile.
Dude.
Swinderski wasn't even selected. He was a fill-in for the guy who selected got hurt.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to ride with the dude from Michigan, Casey Swinderski. I loved his hair, loved the flow. You know what I mean? I loved the character.
Michigan wrestling, man.
So he beats Mendez. And from there on,
that's your
you
guy.
know, it's tails to tell. I got to meet him at Cliff King when he was at Iowa State. We brought him in. It was a long shot, but we took the shot and it worked out. We brought Swinderski into LOG for a camp. And
Private camp, dude. And
it was,
we get our money's worth.
Oh man, dude, it was one of the greatest experiences. You know, on like the fanboy thing, like you got to meet your guy. Like that's my favorite wrestler. So, in the process of this camp and hanging out with Casey, I think it's safe to say every LOG coach is now an Okie State fan.
Oh, 100%.
There's only two kids that I know.
I'm a David Taylor fan. Okay, let's just put that out there.
See, I'm not.
I love David Taylor.
I'm not. I am a wrestling purist. I love talent. I love so. Being a Hawkeye fan and a supporter, I can't stand Penn State. Not because they're not talented. That's just our rival. Like, I embrace it.
I respect them.
But Messingbrink reminds me
what a
so,
monster.
Yachty's nowhere as good as him, obviously. But the pace, the pressure, the ability, the non-fearing to be offensive when you're up so much and losing, it doesn't exist. Me as a wrestler, right? Dude, I win matches. I would say, without even knowing for sure, 85% of my wins were 3-1. 2-1, 2-0. I'm a defensive wrestler. I'm boring. Nobody wants to watch me. You know what I mean?
I'm a pinner.
So I get my boys trained, like privates, and I stay out of it. Is, people that don't know me, they probably don't know that. But anybody that does, I don't coach my boys. I actually get people they look up to do that for me. So it means more to them, like role models wise. And Yachty and Noah are both scorers. Takedown cut.
They're Greg Gifford wrestlers.
Exactly. Like when I competed, Greg Gifford, if you were wrestling a Vegas kid, you better be able to stop takedowns, because if not,
they're eating you up.
3 takedowns in the first period minimum.
6-2. That's our goal.
First period, you're getting taken down 3 times and they're cutting you twice. You know what I mean? So
and we're riding you out for a minute.
That's kind of what my boys have adapted to. And Messingbrink, man, he is art in motion. I love I don't care who he's going against.
Special.
I don't care who he's going against. That's my guy. I will watch him over everybody. But going back to your
Swiderski is your guy.
Swinderski is my favorite wrestler. The tenacity, the violence, just the purity of whatever it takes to win
When
and
we
the
were eating
grind.
that steak, dude, so we took him out to steak, and like, I've told this story to my dad, right? Because we're talking to this kid, and it's weird because he's a kid,
Yeah.
right? Compared to us, like
Compared to us, yeah.
we're men,
Yeah.
but we're talking to this kid, and I all I can picture is, you're talking about symbolic and metaphoric, right? Is Jaws, okay? When the guy is talking about, when that shark bites you, he's got those lifeless eyes like a doll's eyes. But when he bites you and he gets a taste of that blood, those black eyes roll over white. And you know he's alive. And he's sitting there eating this bloody steak. And I go, what's your favorite thing about wrestling? He goes, I just love to effing win, bro. I just love to win. And I saw his eyes roll over white, bro. Like Bruce, the shark in Jaws. I was like, this guy is legit. I love his mindset.
Yeah, so I think he's converted us all to Okie State. I'm a
Yep.
big supporter. I've always supported him, even at Iowa State, being a Hawkeye fan, and I think I'm willing to pick my own team now.
Yeah.
As for the girls, man, I will always be a Hawkeye fan. Sterling
man.
means so much to my family. I
100%.
will not bail on that.
Yeah.
And everything she's done for our family, like we've been in the new facility in Iowa.
Yeah.
We represented the youth Hawkeye team
Yeah.
in national duels.
It's cool.
We wrestled for Marinelli.
Yeah.
Yachty got to meet DeSanto. All because Sterling. Sterling made all this happen and all this a reality.
She gives back to her community. I love everything she's about. I was never her specific coach. I just was kind of on the outskirts, and I got to be a part of her journey.
Yeah.
Ran some practices. She came to me one day. She says, Coach, they're making us stop wrestling with the boys.
Yeah.
And she had been in my practice. And she goes, can you write a practice up for us? And dude, like, for this national, she was like a 2-time national champ at the time,
Yeah.
right? And for this kid to come up, and side note, when we first got to Slam, all these kids, they're playing spike ball. It was one of our warm-ups, right?
Yeah.
Playing spike ball. And
I'd never even seen this game till ATC.
Right.
Oh, ATC played this like
it's
Penn State plays
crazy,
dodgeball.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a young person, right, stop what they're doing and teach kids how to play a game. She taught my son and my daughter, who were in 4th and 1st grade,
Yeah.
how to play this game. And then I've got pictures of her playing with them. Dude, she's $1 million in my mind and more, right? And her humility is amazing, right? Because, like, there's always somebody better,
Yeah.
right? And she's always chasing that person.
Yeah.
I respect her, and we're all behind Sterling Diaz. Unfortunately, I never got to coach her brother. I'm going to tell you something. This is controversial, bro. He was coming to Vegas.
Yeah.
He was going to be at Vegas.
Yeah. I've only seen him and met him. I don't know anything.
He was zoned for this is going back 15 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he wrestled Napoleon, right?
No.
So this isn't.
No, he's after.
Who wrestled Napoleon in the state final? At 106.
Waters. Oh, 106. That was D'Armond Hall. That's another one of my boys I grew up with.
No. When Nappy was at
Gorman. Yeah, he wrestled.
Oh,
D'Armond
I thought this
Hall.
was a Diaz that he had wrestled.
No.
Okay.
No.
He
did
misspeaking.
beat her older brother, Silver.
Okay. So I'm not completely crazy.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I almost got to coach Steele. But those Team GV roots ran deep, So
Yeah.
I almost had him. I had him for a second, and he was going to come and be Antonio's partner.
Yeah.
We had got it all set up, bro. It was going to be great. And he went to Green Valley. I was like, oh no!
Heartbreaking.
But yeah, it's okay. I love Steele. He's also a really good kid. Phenomenal wrestler.
Man, I love the whole family.
Yeah.
Quick story here. This is how this happened. I don't know Nevada wrestling. You know what I mean? I'm now if you talk to me now, I would sound like I know a lot. I know today's world, and I'm in deep. Okay,
Yeah.
so as for the Sterling thing, this is how it happened, man. My mom was on her deathbed, unfortunately, and my boys had saw it, and I told them, I had run into a couple instances where Yachty wrestled in a tripod.
Mm-hmm.
No one does that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where he got it from. Like, me and the coaches would talk about it, like, this is really weird. Well,
Sterling does.
we found out that Yachty had started his flow wrestling and idolizing on his own. We had watched Flo on his phone, so he had access, or on his TV, which he typically watched YouTube. There's about 7 Sterling Diaz videos that I've seen 1,000 times, right? And one of them specifically, she's in a final with a boy, and she is in a tripod 90% of the match.
Yep.
So then
it's like a 3-point stance.
Now
almost.
It clicks. We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But to me, I've now registered. I've now seen somebody else do it.
Yeah.
So we go into the practices. Yachty likes to watch the older guys go ever since he was about 6. Like he's already starting to convert. Like he works
Wrestling
hard.
IQ is high.
Yeah, like he is starting to fall in love with this.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get in the way. Like this is what I'm hoping for. As a father, like this is exactly like answer to prayers.
Yeah.
I noticed Sterling does it about 60% of every practice. She's in a tripod in neutral.
Don't give away her secrets, bro. She's got opponents.
Well, nah, I haven't seen her do it in years. But at this time, she was. I think she was only a junior in high school. We were meeting her transitioning to a senior. This is when our relationship all started. But, so we come to Yachty. We find him eating dinner, and he's watching Sterling. And so I told Shelby I'm about to take the shot. Yachty, is Sterling your favorite wrestler? And he fights it for the longest time. 3, 4, 5 months.
Yeah.
Okay? Like so bad he would start crying. So we finally get him to say that's where he got the tripod from. So now
he had to admit it.
now I've linked to he has been observing this young lady.
Yeah.
Right? And it's crazy because that's the first wrestler that ATC had introduced us, the coaches.
Yeah.
It was like, because I grew up with them, and it's like, hey man, this is Sterling Diaz. So I met her literally on like day 2, and it's just crazy. That was the first wrestler I met, and that's who my son's idolizing. So with my mom being on her deathbed, I told Yachty like, hey, it's not important to you, but you should probably tell her like she's your favorite wrestler. And Yachty starts crying, and I sit him down, and I'm like, hey dude, look, here's reality. You might not know your grandma very well, but she's my superhero. And with her being in a coma, like
you gotta let her know.
If my mom dies, I never told her. You know what I mean? My mom is my hero, and I never got the chance. But now she knows because obviously she came out of it. And so I'm stressing to Yachty like, dude, like this is something that can change somebody. And we go about 3-4 months. So Yachty's not gonna do it. He cries, doesn't want nothing to do it. One day changed. And this is where I don't understand how people don't believe in God. Nappy had done something at practice, and he was like, all you youth guys, grab a high schooler that's in the room, because they would show up early, and some of them would put on their shoes and roll.
That's cool.
Sterling grabs Yachty. And now there's no connection. We haven't talked to Sterling, nothing.
No coincidence, man.
Shelby films it, and Yachty, as soon as they're done, sprints over to us, and it's like, did you see that? Did you see that? I went with Sterling.
That's so cool.
Did you see that? We didn't tell him we filmed it. He has seen the video, though, and we told him to go tell her, and he started crying. And so she was like, why are you crying? Like, we just had fun. Nothing. So for Christmas, we gave her a Christmas gift. We gave her shoes. And we wrote her a letter. Like, this is how she finds out. Like,
That's cool.
You were Yachty's favorite wrestler. If you watch him practice or wrestle, you'll understand.
Yeah.
And we basically tell her how important she is to him. And she's
important to Nevada as a whole, man.
But this is where our personal connection comes.
Yeah.
And so we bought her shoes because the shoes she has have like
holes,
ribs and stuff, holes. Well, after we get the gift, someone tells us like, bro, we had talked about it to a couple people and no one wanted to tell us. Those are the shoes she meddled in. That's why she won't give them up.
Gotcha.
That's why she won't take them off.
Gotcha.
And we told her, like, when you go to your future endeavors, like, the shoes were symbolic, because I'm a symbolic person. Yeah. I tell you stuff without exactly telling you, but you'll grasp why. I told her, if you ever have a bad day, because at that time she had missed a couple months. If you ever have a bad time when you go to college and you want to hang them up, understand there is a 6-year-old who thinks the world of you. So if you ever need to be reminded, here are the shoes.
Yeah.
And from there on, Yachty finally told her. And
that's cool, man.
Yeah, one day I'll bring you over and you'll see he has a wall of everybody who's ever trained him and all the people he's met. So we have an 8x10 for everybody who's ever trained them. So like right off the top of the head, you've done it. Jackson Mackey.
Yeah.
Mika.
Yeah.
Sterling. He has Sasso.
Manny Saldate.
Yeah. Sammy Gallardo.
Nice.
Sammy Gallardo, shout out to him because Yachty is a low-level machine. We
Shout
took it
out-
from Sammy.
Shout out to Nick Gallardo. I think he's going to be one of the best.
Oh,
too.
he's a stud, dude.
Yeah.
I've actually seen him grow.
Yeah,
like,
me
it's,
too.
It's phenomenal.
Nappy's doing good things with him. Him and
Yeah.
Val are just killing it.
Dude, the Gallardo family
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
I love Bob. That dude he is wisdom
Yeah.
and reality every time he speaks.
Yeah.
I can't do anything but respect it.
100%.
That family is amazing.
Yeah.
And I barely got to be around Noah, but everything's cool about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just the vibe.
Yeah.
But with Sterling, she's on her own wall.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got pictures of them at Carver. He's got pictures of her and him and her.
You built her a shrine, is what you're saying?
He's got one. No, this is what he
I
wanted.
hear it. I hear it.
Like Noah took Centrell's singlet
Yeah.
and made him sign it, and we got it in
Plexiglass
frame.
or whatever.
yeah. So like, because Noah wants to fight, and
Yeah.
Noah really took to Centrell,
Yeah.
And
Central's going to fight.
and well, he does,
Yeah.
and everyone told us like, you might want to pick a better role model. I'm like, you guys don't understand.
You don't know Noah.
Noah's 6.
Yeah.
Or at the time, or 7. He is Centrell
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Like Noah wants to fight in the
Yeah.
UFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, if you see Noah wrestle, like he hates Hocker practices because Hocker does this thing where you can't get out of stances. Noah doesn't have a stance.
He wants to
He's
dance.
Centrell trained. He
Yeah.
stands up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, regardless,
Yeah.
the Sterling thing became a big deal. That was the very first role model one of my boys had picked, and I never had one. So we took it very personal.
For all those guys that can't see, he's wearing the Iowa Hawkeyes Sterling Diaz shirt right now.
That's funny that we're talking about that. I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that.
Yeah.
We just got practice after this, so
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
All right. So after all that, I do think LOG is going to become Oklahoma State fans. Swindersi will be coming back.
Yeah.
We built a great relationship, and he has converted all of us.
Well, he's bringing some friends next time.
Yep.
I'm super stoked.
Yep. And I hope that what we all talked about was the complete opposite of him. I'm really looking forward to it because we try to make this emotion already. Sergio Vega.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Askren-esque.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I would love to
Prayers,
have.
prayers to Ben Askren. I hope
Yep.
he heals.
Shout out Ben Askren, the fight, and if anybody can do it, Askren. He's tougher than nails, man. But in regards to the Oklahoma State, man, there's only 2 kids I know that just refuse to change. Easton doesn't want to leave Penn State, and
Yeah.
neither does Noah. Neither does Noah. So
Yeah.
that we'll keep that in works, and we'll see how that goes. We'll have
Yeah.
some Dursey beat
Well,
up
they
Noah
are the
a little
best
bit.
right now.
Yeah. So I do think Oklahoma State is a
Up-and-comers.
year away
Yeah.
from taking the crown, but it would not shock me if they do it this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of things in the works right now.
And if they manage, I don't think it will happen. I am betting, you guys hearing it first. I've been on this train for, 3 weeks. If they can get Bo and
Oh, yeah.
Melvin, it's game changing.
Oh, yeah.
But I think Bo's and Melvin and Keegan,
Nebraska.
they're all going to Nebraska.
Yeah.
It just sounds like the best fit with Manning and everything
Well,
they want.
Their faith, yeah.
Yeah, the faith-wise, the building, the meaning something to the lineup.
Yeah.
Like Nebraska is that head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's where they'll end up. However, if Oklahoma State can pull it off, it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I think the Rainey brothers would decommit pretty quick, or transfer.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to our segment of bonus points. So how bonus points will work? I'm going to give you some topics,
Okay.
and if you agree with them, you're going to say scoring points.
Okay. If
Okay?
I don't,
If you
stalling?
don't, stalling.
Stalling.
Okay, so stalling means you're not on board. Scoring means I'm on board with that. I'm full go.
Okay.
All right, so our number 1 topic here, okay, is LeBron is the GOAT, not Jordan.
Stalling.
Why is that?
I grew up with Jordan. I watched him do it.
So
live.
you're an old head that won't let go of the past.
Well, I'm an old head that watched greatness in motion, and the dude was. You talk about just studly, and again, he had a great team,
Yeah.
great coach,
Yeah.
all the jazz. You know, the 6 titles, all that. Watching, he wanted the ball, dude.
Yeah,
He
winners
wanted,
always want the ball.
He wanted the ball when crunch time happened, and he's not looking for a layup. He's looking for a 3. He's looking for the high pressure win.
Yeah,
I respect it, man, and
he never shied away.
never, and I'm actually a bigger Kobe fan than I am.
So on
LeBron
that
fan.
statement, I will say this. This is a hot take. This will be the first one everyone gets to hear me say. I do think that Kobe is the first sequel to ever be better than the original. I don't even think it's LeBron Jordan. I think it's LeBron Kobe Jordan. So that's just that.
I don't know. I respect everything that LeBron's done, but I really enjoyed him when he was a Cavalier for the first time because, again, he was an underdog. He was surrounded by nobodies.
Yeah, he has three of the worst five. Out of the 5 worst final teams, he's on 3 of them of all time.
But see, I respect that, and that's why I love Charles Barkley too.
Yeah,
you know, because he never went to the super team.
It's like Damian Lillard.
Yes. I love that aspect. He never went to the super team. He never sold out, and I respect it. You know, he was an underdog, and then he went to the Heat, and he won. You know.
Yeah.
But they lost to the Mavericks, bro.
Yeah. So this is the only thing
Dirk beat him down.
This is the only thing. This is the only thing I would say to that because this is the most common argument for Jordan fans. I'm gonna real quick because this debate.
Just so you know, I'm a Kobe fan.
This debate could go on for another hour, especially this one.
Technically, I'm a Kevin Garnett fan. That's my favorite player ever.
Well, so you won't like this one then.
Oh gosh.
They all say LeBron went to the Heat and created a super team. Okay, this is where number one that's a flaw.
Well, Dwayne Wade was there already.
Well, this is where that is flawed.
Dwayne Wade already had a championship.
LeBron left the Cavaliers for one specific reason, because the Celtics already built the super team. They opened the floodgates.
They did, and you know what? Kevin Garnett was a part of it.
Yes, that's why
baby.
I said you won't like that.
I love Paul Pierce. I love Ray Allen. They stole him from us.
Paul Pierce is delusional. That's the only thing I have.
I love Paul
Great
Pierce.
player.
Oh, he's
terrible
amazing.
Commentator.
Analysis. I don't ever watch
his
analysis, but I love that guy.
So, the second part to this is what people overlook.
I'm a Celtics fan, by the way.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, okay. I'm biased.
People overlook this like no tomorrow. This is nothing to attack the Celtics with. D. Wade publicly said he recruited LeBron because he wanted to be Kobe, and at the state that he was in his career, he could no longer do it. He was not the player to do it. So he needed LeBron. Okay, number one.
LeBron needed Wade too.
I would disagree with that statement. However, this is why. They also said, well, they went and got Chris Bosh too.
Chris Bosh is a beast.
Chris Bosh played half a year before he medically almost died. He was prevented to play basketball because of blood clots. So on the concept of a 3 big-headed monster, yeah, on paper, absolutely, you got
Ray
the
Allen
argument.
Was there too.
Yeah, he came off the bench. Anyway,
he was amazing.
I would argue for any basketball fan, Chris Anderson, Birdman, was a bigger role than Bosh and Ray Allen. Playing that 5 role in that system was critical, and he did it at, I would say, the best of his career level. He wasn't an all-star, however.
To LeBron's credit, and this is the same thing for Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. When you get that guy on a team, it elevates everyone around him.
Yeah.
Right? And that is one thing I can say for LeBron. He is a leader.
Yes.
Right? And when you put good guys around greatness, they elevate.
And the only part of these arguments, right, of the top players ever, and I hate Kobe but respect him. I'm a Suns fan. So when I was in high school, and because you were
Steve Nash.
The Suns versus Lakers was a real thing. I embrace all rivalries.
I love Steve Nash.
Kobe is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And I will never put that down.
I like his mindset.
However, yes, and I would say he's probably the best mindseted athlete of all time.
Yep.
Like in any sport. Him and Brady.
I look up to both
I would
of them.
love to see who can win that debate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think the reason we crap on LeBron is because he's the first
kid.
No, he's the first first superstar. He's going to make the highest efficient basketball play opposed to taking the shot.
Right.
Kobe will take the shot no matter what.
Right.
Jordan will take the shot no matter what.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So I think that's why this argument gets a little cloudy.
I just get, I'm not a LeBron hater.
Yeah.
All right. Again, respect to him. I think he is definitely, I don't count championships as greatness. Right?
Yeah, it's a team award.
Yeah, 100%. And I think he has more MVP awards than anybody else, right?
He holds majority of the records.
Yeah, and I love stats. I love numbers because they never lie.
If they didn't mean anything, why do we keep them?
Right.
Right. And so I would say the simplistic form. This is how I argue LeBron over everybody. If basketball was broken into 5 categories, who's better at 3 of them than LeBron? Nobody. Yeah. He's better at majority. So whether he's better
a
at
phenom, dude.
If he's better at 3 categories,
this majority
out of 5 over Jordan, that would mean he's better at basketball.
Yeah.
That's generally speaking, correct?
Yeah.
So that's my argument.
Yeah.
It's not that who's the best shooter, nothing like that.
Yeah.
All right, so second one. Are we scoring points or are we stalling? Dragon Ball is the greatest anime ever made.
Oh, you talking to just personal?
No, this is all just your opinion.
This is my opinion, man. I can say that it is one of the greatest. It's what most people in the world started with.
So you're actively stalling, scoring points at
I'm actively stalling.
actively
Yeah.
stalling here.
Because without little Goku in Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
I never watch anime,
Yeah.
right? And I will say, like, dude, there's some great anime. Cowboy Bebop is my favorite of all time. So
I'm scoring points on this one. It's
Yeah.
the only cartoon I ever watched, let alone anime.
Yeah.
So, all right, our third one. This one's going to be critical, and we're not attacking anybody on this. What you do is what you do and with the decisions you make. But this applies to our sport very specifically.
Okay.
You scoring points or stalling, cut and wait.
Depends on the situation.
Okay, so I am stalling on this one. I am not on board with this. If you cannot do it in a practice, we don't need to discuss it.
Yeah.
And the reason is, while everyone says, yeah, I'll be a lot stronger, yada,
No,
yada, yada, at
that
the weight
never
under,
happens.
you're depleted.
Yeah.
You're not energized.
You're tired.
So I just think it's a flawed system, and
Yeah.
in America we do it the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I know that I ran. Obviously, it's not all freestyle, but like in Iran and Russia, they talk very vocally about filling out the weight
Yeah.
because that's their weight.
Yeah. Going up.
Yeah.
I can tell you that as a father, my children have never cut weight.
So
Never, and they
Yachty
will
has. Yachty has one time. Noah, 0.2 over, bump him. He's not doing it.
Yeah.
Noah's baby. He's not doing it, which is, it's okay, man.
Yeah.
I don't care.
We just make him cry. He'd lose that point too.
So if my rule with Yachty is, if it's above 2 pounds, we're not even discussing it. If it's 2 pounds or less, we'll see at the end of practice what it's like.
Yeah.
But there is one time he was held accountable, and I hate that it happened at such a young age. But when he agreed to wrestle for Marinelli on the Hawkeye youth team, he was given the option, 70 or 75. Now, as it played out, if he would have stayed at 70, if he would have just picked 75, he would have done significant. I only seen maybe one match he loses, maybe. But at 70, he ended up choosing what we didn't know at the time in fruition, but at 70 was the harder route.
Yeah.
His best opponent, and Easton's got to wrestle him too at the Open. The best opponent he's ever went against was at 70 from Minnesota from Funky Singlets. But, anyways, Yachty weighed 71 pounds, opted to go 70, told Marinelli on the phone, confirmed, I want to go 70. So, we're 4 days out, and I'm like, hey, Yachty, go check your weight, because me as a father, I'm believing him. Yachty doesn't lie. There's no reason.
Yeah.
He wrestles.
Yeah.
This is what he does.
Yeah.
74.8.
Oh, man.
I had 4 days to figure this out.
Oh, man.
So we actually did it super intelligent.
Yeah.
We got him down to striking distance, 70.6, and he 69.8.
Nice.
All he just didn't participate, or he ate a little bit.
Yep.
On the plane flight, we gave him peanuts. We drank some. We did everything.
Manage that.
Yeah, we managed it pretty well, and then we went hard in the 2 practices we had in Carver, or in the Dan Gable room, the basement. So when we were there, he just went pretty hard. He got to roll with the best kid in the lineup. He actually won Reno Worlds.
Nice.
This past season. So that's his drill partner. Really pushed him. Thank God for that young man.
Yeah.
Because he helped us get on
Yeah.
weight. So yeah, it's the only time it's ever happened. But
let me also add this, like, as my children will never cut weight, a lot of that comes from the way I had to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I came out of football at 205.
Yeah.
And I had a wrestling partner.
Yep.
Who
my story is similar.
Yeah, who was probably going to be the state champion in my coach's eyes at 189, but he could not cut down, and he wouldn't have won it at 215. And so my coach pulled me in. He said, hey, this kid can win it at 89s. You can win it at 89s, but I need you to win it at 71. So I cut to 71.
Yeah.
And I took state.
Yeah.
And my friend took second
Yeah.
to Reggie Powers. But so I cut 30.
Powers
is a beast.
legend when I was
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah. So again, situation. My coach calls me in, has the one-on-one, and he says, "Team needs you."
Yeah.
I made the cut.
Yeah.
Right? And
So
I told my dad. He agreed. We made the cut.
So for me, man, it was simple. I was still chasing the dream of football. I actually played very well. I broke my foot. I think it was the day before we got pads, or the practice before. And I go into Coop, and Coach Cooper told me.
Hunky Cooper?
Yep.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Cooper told me I needed to
Good
make a
coach.
decision.
Mhm.
I was already getting offers in baseball, and he knew it.
Yeah.
Cooper was like, for just being our football coach, he was really into the school
Yeah.
and the success, and he knew, like we had about I would say, 3 other really good players on the baseball team,
Mm.
but I was the one that was doing my own shopping, so I had the college looks at the time, and he knew about him. Cause I would go to him for advice just because he had gone pro before, not that he coached me in baseball or nothing like that. So he told me I needed to make a choice, and he was like, if you're gonna play football, you gotta double train, so that foot problem's gonna be a little hard because you're gonna come in a little late, so playing time could go down, whatever the case. He was very honest. Appreciate him. But when I told him I'm not giving up wrestling, the decision was I was walking away from football. So I go into wrestling after, the cast comes off. I'm at 205. So
How much you weigh now?
207.
207.
Yeah,
So you're
so-
about this size?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to make my push down because I do want to get more involved in, I'm tired of my body hurting from,
Yeah.
number one, working and then all the overtime and then
Yeah.
coaching. So,
Weighs you down.
yeah. And the goals for the next 2 years is that I leave baseball and all and get ready for Yachty to be in high school. So I want to be actively drilling and stuff like that in the wrestling room. So I'm going to start that shedding process. I felt really good at about 185 is what I competed at in baseball. But for wrestling wise, I cut all the way down. My coach thought I had no shot at 89. Okay, I had my buddy there. We never wrestled off respect. That is his weight. I can still go down. Okay, this was, so I started
You're a
making
71 pounder?
I started making the
Hey.
climb to 71. Coach told me I had no shot to win that. I need to think about 60s. Well, I smashed the guy who he thought would beat
The
our
guy.
71. I
Yeah.
teched him,
Mhm.
and I don't tech anybody.
Yeah.
I've only had 2 techs in my life. I don't even count
You
this
own
one.
that guy.
It was a wrestle off, so I don't
Yeah.
even count it. It's a practice match.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I have 1 tech to my career. But I tech this guy. He does never come back.
Mm.
So the guy he thought,
Was the guy.
and I compete at 71 super light. I was
Mhm.
like 162.
Mm.
Everyone's wide, you drop to 60s. Number one, when I really considered it, I was already seeded. We had our preseason, or not preseason, we had our seeded meetings before the end of the year. As soon as your region or your conference matches were over, well, at Canyon, our coach did a big schedule. Schultz made a big one. So we still had I think a duel or 2, but they didn't matter. They were
Mhm.
just for our team record, right? So when I could have made the push to 60s for regionals, I could have, but I'm already seated at 71s
Yeah.
for regionals.
Yeah, you don't want to be a draw-in.
And on top of that, 60s was loaded, and I'm not ducking
I was gonna
nobody.
say Hodge and.
But
Yeah.
I was on a vision quest, and this is how me and Karan have known each other for so long. I was on a vision quest to wrestle Hodge.
Hmm.
I would say on any given day, Hodge was better than me, no questions asked. However,
You only have to be better once.
I trained to wrestle him
Yeah.
for 3 months.
Yeah.
What worked in my favor, now obviously I could have been the outlier. What worked in my favor is the Canyon Springs wrestler that's wrestled him in the dual meet has never lost him.
Mm.
So Johnny Arita came back to help me. Chico Alcala came back to help me. Max, we call him Quesadilla. I can't even say his real last name. But Max came back to help me. It was all to beat Hodge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the way he was in bottom, how he set up,
Yeah.
I learned how to stop it.
Mm.
The Russian drag inside trip, I learned how to stop it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was specifically ready to wrestle this
That
kid.
guy ended up taking second in state.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he lost to Octavio something from Worcester.
Okay.
But he was a 60 pounder, missed weight to wrestle me.
He was a 2-time runner-up.
He missed weight to wrestle me because it was well known that I was going after
Yeah.
Hodge.
Yeah.
And, my mom freaked out. He's already cut 40 pounds, coach. If he drops to 60s, I'm pulling him.
Mm.
And this is a big meet for me, so my mom is going.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't end up
So
showing up.
71 was the
However,
one.
she had made it very clear she was showing up to this one. So I weigh in at 163, 0.8. You know what I mean? I was at 161.8. They made me, my coach Schultz made me drink a Gatorade. Said I was not willing for him to lose me,
Yeah.
or he was not willing to lose me. So they do all this, man. I'm super frustrated. Hodge comes up to me when we're checking weight
Mhm.
at Valley, and he's like, "Did you make 60?" I was like, "Nah, man. I would have, but Schultz and everybody pulled the plug on it." He was like, "Cool." Gets on the scale. He's 165. It's 164.8.
Nice.
So, bro,
You got to wrestle.
I'm getting amped.
Oh, they bump you up to 89.
So
That's right.
the 60 match is happening. We lost this. We lost the 60 match.
Hmm.
Schultz cannot believe it.
Yeah.
All right, so now,
Because you were in it for the dual meet. right?
yes,
Mm.
now
You're
what
in a
Schultz is
dogfight.
thinking, and I respect it now
Yeah.
because I
As a
understand.
coach, yeah.
I respect that our thought process. In my career, it was us versus Vegas. Whoever wins that is the division champ.
It's true.
So At this time, I'm not seeing it that way. I've never asked the team for anything. I've never asked Schultz. Whatever Schultz needed me to do to get people on weight, I was like the master weight cutter.
Yeah.
Whatever it took, I'd get it off. I would not quit until the job's done.
Yeah.
And Schultz really like went to me
He
for
bumped
all
you
of
up.
this. Like I was considered a captain for it.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't. That was Ephraim, Bobby, and I think our captain group was great. But anything that was super hard,
You were the leader.
me or Ephraim had to do it because we were both cut,
The guy.
like from the same cloth. Like
Yeah.
until the job's done, it's
Yeah.
not done.
Yeah.
And
an
so
old
when
school mindset.
Bobby had to make weight, I went to go. I was at CSN at 2 a.m. My mom freaking out because Bobby was not on weight, right? So
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff that, like, I've never asked the team.
Yeah.
We get to 160s and we lose. So I'm checking in, man. I'm strapped up until I collapse, came out. This is everything I've been working for. To me, this was bigger than state. This was I could prove I can beat the guy,
Yeah.
right? And Hodge checks in, I check in,
And he pulls
and
you.
Schultz sprints over to the booth and he was like, hey,
We got to pull you, bump you up.
this is going to come down to heavyweight. I got to bump you up to 89 so Edwin just can't get pinned or bonus pointed.
Mhm.
I'm like, no, you're not doing that. I absolutely am doing that. So I watch him do this. He sends in the backup 71-pounder, the JV kid. Hodge destroys him.
Yeah. Doesn't get pinned?
No, Hodge destroyed him.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think the
He
match
took 6?
lasted like 20 seconds.
Gotcha.
And so I go up to 89. For the first time in my life, I thought about losing on purpose. It took me a whole minute to snap out of me staring at Schultz. I circled the kid to stare at Schultz, and Bobby ran in front of Schultz and was like, no.
Mhm.
I was going to do it.
Yeah.
And so
I'm glad you didn't.
I take down the kid and I pin him. I'm not a pinner.
Yeah.
I forced this pin to happen so I could get off the mat. Schultz, all professional guy, and shout out to Schultz.
Yeah.
Told me, great job. I wouldn't shake his hand.
Yeah.
I completely acted like an ignorant kid to him.
Yeah.
Right? At the
Well,
time,
you were
he,
an ignorant kid.
at the time, he broke my heart.
Yeah.
And then from there on, like, I get it now.
As a man,
Yeah, I get it as a man. I get it as a coach. Like,
Yeah.
the goal was Vegas.
Yeah.
Just not for me.
Strategic, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, we end up losing. I'm pretty positive Edwin got pinned.
Mm.
So, we end up losing
Valley's
the
going crazy, right?
36-35.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
you
man.
know, me being ignorant,
Yeah.
we're shaking hands.
Didn't even matter.
We're shaking hands, and Hodge shakes his head. And I'm like, bro, I'll wrestle you right now. I go to
Yeah.
the coach, and I was like, we'll do it right now. You don't got to worry about me hurting
Yeah.
him. I'm probably going to be the one hurt,
Yeah.
but this needs to be done.
Yeah.
And they were like, at regionals. So Schultz is preparing for me to drop to 60. He's preparing to take all backlash from my mom, everything. And this is going to be odd. Coach Bobby's the one who talked me out of it.
Go
You're seated at
71s.
71. You haven't been overpowered. You are competing with the best of the best.
Yeah. Stick
Don't do
where
it.
you're at. Yeah.
Don't do it. Like, and I'll tell you what, man, this is going to be, I'm clowning myself, but it's reality. I am the greatest person to make a semi and never get in the final.
Oh, dang.
The semis is my curse.
Mm.
Third and fourth is where I'm at.
Okay.
Because I cannot get past the semifinal
Gotcha.
no matter what. I don't know if I get scared. I couldn't tell you. I just couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah.
Or I just wasn't good enough, which I would circle that because I just couldn't score points on demand. But that's my vision quest and my weight cutting story. But I believe I cut weight all healthy because I literally went through a cast. I put on all this weight.
Yeah.
I was only 5'9".
Yeah.
I had like 26% body fat. Like,
Oh yeah.
it just wasn't
You could
healthy.
lose all that.
it was just
yeah.
and I looked real good at 171.
Yeah.
Like I have one picture. I'm super lean.
Yeah.
85 is when I'm pretty bulky and stuff, but I'm a catcher. I
Yeah.
got to drive the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
All right.
I don't support the weight cutting, but I think there's cases where,
Yeah.
but if it can't be done in practice, I don't support it,
Gotcha.
especially for high schoolers. So here's our next one. Holding your kid back. Now,
Nope.
I want to make this very
Solid.
clear. Because I don't want anybody to take this personal. This is a direct implication to our sport.
Yep.
Football happens in different cases,
Yeah.
but wrestling, this is
They do it all
super
the time.
common. The Midwest has a rule on it now
Yeah.
that has now trickled down to everybody. So, are you stalling or scoring
I'm
points?
stalling. I don't think it's good for the mental growth. Greg Gifford and I was helping him move, and we had a discussion on this because both him and I graduated at 17. And honestly, dude, I could have been held back. My dad was advised to hold me back.
Mhm.
Ed Gifford, Coach Giff, Papa Giff, was advised to hold Greg back because he was young for his age. And, you know, if they held him back, he's a 3-time state champ. I'm a 2-time state champ because Alex Profit, who won after me, right, I beat 3 times
Yeah.
that
so
year.
You had a good chance to
I
repeat.
would have beat him.
No, yeah, I'm saying like
Yeah.
we won't know, but
Yeah, I would have.
all
and I
directions
have.
point that way.
And what I can tell you is I'm so glad he didn't.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he didn't, man, because if I had to be 18 my senior year, dude, I would have gotten into trouble. And it's not good for my psyche to be around kids when I'm 18, 19
Yeah,
years
I
old.
graduated at 18.
Yeah.
I was already 18.
And you know, if you're 18 during your senior year, good for you. But if you're holding back to get better at wrestling, you're going to have to wrestle those guys eventually.
Yeah.
And when you get to college, they're all men.
What about the kids that are too small?
Too small, dude. That part of it is cutting weight too early.
Yeah.
You're stunting your kid's growth. That's my personal opinion.
No, I share this opinion.
Yeah, I think that if you're cutting your kid to win tournaments at a young age, it's a law. It's an act of futility, because who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares, bro? And honestly, like, if my son never takes state, you know, he's still my son.
Yeah.
You know, and he's my boy.
Yeah, that'll never change.
Never. And you know, if my kid is not the greatest wrestler on the planet, that's okay.
Yeah, it's the same, man. I get asked by a couple of my buddies, with the way Yachty is, he likes to go against the better kids.
Mm-hmm.
So he openly
Wants to go.
Yeah, with the best weight.
Yeah.
So they asked me, am I prepared for him to be like a 3-time state champ? Me personally, for the boys in Nevada, I don't think it's that elite as a whole state, like in comparison to California.
Yeah.
We're not thought of very highly. That's the
No,
reality.
No.
You know what I mean? We're definitely in the bottom. We're definitely bottom half.
Yeah.
We're winning a state title here doesn't mean anything.
It means
So-
something to me.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it means something to the person that's doing it.
Yeah.
But as a father, if I could trade in a one-timer for a 3-time national and he
Yes.
accomplishes the things he
Yes.
wants to,
Easy.
then absolutely, good trade. Because I know him.
Jordan
Noah-
Burroughs never took state.
I don't think Noah's going to be able to pick his way. I think he's just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
He's going to be like 20, 26.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The goal for Yachty is to walk in high school at like 44. Like,
Yeah.
he's already taller than every kid he gets on the mat.
Yeah.
He is smaller, but he's always taller.
He'll grow.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. So I wanted your opinion on that. All right, so this next one I was actually asked to ask you. I barely learned what this was.
Okay, who asked you to ask me?
Quran, because
Oh my
we were
gosh.
listening. We were listening to Flow Wrestling, and
Okay.
Jason Noah brought this up.
Okay.
And I know what he's talking about because I heard it literally an hour before he told me to
Okay.
ask you.
Okay.
Singlets or rash guards?
Oh, singlets. I'm a purist, honestly, dude. And this is just me. Like I can go on record and say this. I'm a purist, and purist means Greco-Roman.
Yeah.
You're naked, bro.
Yeah, you like the
Like, no, I don't want you to be able to grab anything. I want it to be as equal as possible.
Yeah.
But I'm also a traditionalist. I think the singlet is a part. It's
our uniform.
It is, dude.
Yeah.
And it sets us apart from other sports. I know that like in track and field they'll wear the singlet as well.
Yeah.
But dude, you are stripped bare of everything, right? I don't want to cover this up. I've worked hard for this body.
Yeah.
I want to go out and I'm one piece.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going after this guy. And you know, I don't fault anybody that wants to wear a two-piece, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I don't know, we're not in jiu-jitsu.
That's the reason I agree. I think the singlet represents wrestling and rash guards represent jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I think that at some point we can mix.
Same
However-
thing with a gi. Gis are different, man. That's you're a judoka. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You're a judo player.
It's why boxing wears their gloves
Yep.
and why UFC wears their gloves. It's their representation.
100%.
So I agree with that. All right. George St. Pierre is the GOAT of the UFC
Is the GOAT of like in wrestling or just the GOAT overall?
overall. So I think this comes down to 3.
Hey, listen. My favorite fighter of all time is Matt Hughes.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I watched Matt Hughes beat
GSP?
GSP, and then I watched GSP evolve for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
He is unlike anyone we will ever see again.
I agree.
If he came into the UFC right now, he would beat 95% of the guys.
Yeah.
I think he is the GOAT.
Okay. So, you know, for anybody wondering, I believe it's Khabib. Never lost. He has one loss?
John Jones has one loss because
Yeah,
he
no
had
contest.
The against
legal elbow.
Matt Hamill.
And John Jones,
Hamill?
yep. And then he redeemed it.
Yeah.
John Jones, Khabib, and GSP. This would be my argument for GSP because I am scoring points on this one. GSP had a 10 title defense run,
Dude.
where he didn't
Unreal.
lose a single round.
And he didn't duck anybody.
50-0.
Yeah.
Didn't lose a single round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Khabib's one downfall is who did he fight? Conor McGregor was the one where you circle that he didn't. That was his first real
Big
opponent.
win.
Yes,
Yeah.
big win. And then obviously Gaethje, and
I'm not wrestling Khabib, just so you know.
and
Like,
Dustin
there's no
Poirier.
way. There's no
I
way.
think he's the greatest wrestler.
Yeah.
Like he smothers. You do not breathe.
He's unreal.
There's no thinking.
Now, best 2 out of 3, him and GSP in their prime. GSP takes it.
I believe so.
He
I believe
loses
that
the first, wins the 2.
I believe the stand-up is lopsided.
Yeah.
And I believe the takedown offense could get GSP, but I don't believe he'll hold on to like a 5-0 win.
No.
In talking about rounds.
No,
I think we're talking about split every time.
Yeah.
Unless Khabib can finish. If anybody can finish, I believe it would be Khabib.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, man. Yeah, it would be a good match.
here's my problem with John Jones. In just the GOAT argument, I don't have a problem with him as a fighter. He has 2 failed drug tests. No big deal. It's drugs, whatever our knock and the feelings are on that. There is multiple fights that are at question. Did he truly lose? And the one that comes to mind is Reyes.
Yeah.
Did
think he lost.
lose that fight?
I think he lost. But see, just like people are making the argument that NFL is an entertainment business, the UFC down to it is for entertainment, and they've got a brand to protect.
Agreed.
You cannot let this guy lose to this dude.
Yeah.
Right? And unless you knock out the champ, you're really not the champ. I hate to be that way.
I forgot what the name of him is. It's that tall white dude.
Oh, Stephenson?
Gustafson.
Gustafson. Yeah.
Okay, that's how we say it. There's a debate that he lost that one.
I watched that live, bro. I was there.
Yes.
He lost that fight.
I agree.
Alexander Gustafsson beat him silly.
I agree that he lost fight 1.
Yeah.
So
second one was a little bit closer.
I think John Jones wins that.
Yeah. It's
so
harder to score for me.
I agree. And with that being said, I understand GSP lost twice, but we got to understand one thing here. The Sierra fight, Sarah, that was the worst
GSP we'd ever seen.
No, and how do you train for that as a champion? You don't even know who you're fighting because the Ultimate Fighter.
Right.
You don't even know who to prepare for.
Can't game plan at all.
It's the worst scenario for a champion to be put in, and that's why we haven't seen it done again.
Yeah.
Because GSP dog walked him. On the rematch.
Well, do you remember how he beat him? He was balled up and he's kneeing him in the body, trying to get him to stand up.
Yeah.
And Sarah just couldn't.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to wrestle Matt Serra.
Yeah.
Respect to that dude, but GSP is the GOAT.
So I would agree with that one. All right. This one's a little personal. You already kind of talked about it a little bit. Say when.
Say when. Yeah, man. It's big. I think that's, it comes from Doc Holliday, Val Kilmer, rest in peace. Probably the greatest portrayal of what a best friend and a man of his word is in cinema.
But this is speculation. We are not for certain. We have not asked Wendersky this.
No.
So this is speculation. I would trust Hocker on it because of the details he knows about it. And as soon as we embraced it as our coaching thing and our motto at LOG, everybody knew the backstory, and Hocker hasn't stopped about it.
Yeah,
every example that you can have.
Bro. Say when. So back in my younger days, I was more apt to be physical when people would be mean to me.
Yeah.
Right. If you really feel that way, let's fight.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I always pictured Doc Holliday say when. I didn't win every fight.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't lose every fight. But what I can say is the wrestling mindset is to be ready always. And that's the truth. That's what you have to be. You have to have a faceless opponent that you train for every single day. And when that moment comes, you say when, and I'm there.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not that guy anymore. Right?
Yeah.
I've chosen peace and love and all this soft stuff in my personal life. And
I mean, even as a coach, though, that the position that you hold now, I'm pretty sure if somebody called out,
listen.
You showed your love for Mika, so let's use Mika as the example.
Yeah.
If somebody called out Mika, I'm pretty sure you and Bill are not going to win.
Yeah, let's go.
I think that's
name the time and place.
I think that's still credit to the personality and drive. For me, this is really huge. I didn't know anything about Doc or anything like that. When I saw it, it's fanboying. It's Swendersky had posted the tattoo of it, and Say When has become like a Stilly Boy thing, which is Oklahoma State's wrestling team.
I love it.
So to me, I take it as a coach, as an athlete, you're different when you don't duck anything.
Say when.
What's the way? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're being called out, you're being tested. Whether you win or lose, I think this is a testament to your character and who you are.
Yeah.
If you're always chasing the concept of perfection or somebody greater, there's no finish line.
Right. You got to find the next best guy.
Yeah. So again, like.
And you go until you can't.
And this will feed right into our last bonus points statement. If you're stalling or scoring, Vegeta in Dragon Ball would make the best wrestler of all characters.
100%. 100%. Him and Goku, right? It's between those two because the Saiyan mindset is built on finding the next guy to beat you up so that you can evolve and beat them up.
So this is where me and you'll disagree. And this was a question we had discussed it, and I ultimately said on this way because I'm a Vegeta fan and we are very similar in this concept. I'm actually stalling on this.
Yeah.
The reason is, and it'll make sense to you, Vegeta depends on losses to elevate.
Yeah.
That means somebody has to beat him.
Yeah.
And it has to happen time and time again.
Yeah.
That means, in a direct reflection, somebody's better.
Yeah.
It can't be Goku because Goku is the same concept. These two drive each other.
Yeah.
So there would be no true best.
Yeah.
I think this is without debate. It has to be Gohan. Gohan doesn't train and he wins.
Yeah.
Imagine if he trained.
Right.
Unstoppable.
Well, you watched him train with his dad in the hyperbolic time chamber, right? The one time in his life. Well, first off, he trained with Piccolo.
Well,
right?
he did it in the further series too and
Yeah.
became Beast Gohan.
Yeah. He trains with Piccolo. He achieves this, what they call it, a burst limit or a break limit, right?
Yep.
And he's able to fight with people he shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
Then he trains for a year.
He's exploding scouters, basically.
Yes. He's exactly. I love that. Then he trains for a year in one day in the hyperbolic time chamber with his dad. Not only does he become the youngest Super Saiyan ever at that time,
Yeah.
right? Then he becomes the first ascended Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
And he defeats the perfect, his name is Perfect Cell.
Yeah.
The perfect fighting machine.
And he does it with one arm.
One arm.
The most impressive because his arrogance allowed him to get injured.
Yep.
All right, so here's our final thing. And I'll go first so you can get the concept of this because I want this to be a personal thing and not just flat out
All right.
accolades, whatever.
All right.
You're Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Okay. The most influential to you. So for me, this is concrete. I've thought about it. There's no way any of this is moving for me. I understand. I will not argue Justin Burrows or Jordan Burrows. I believe he's the greatest. Okay. Right? But this is for me and in my life and what I use wrestling for. Number one, Sterling Diaz. Mm-hmm. She's among my Mount Rushmore of GOATs for wrestling because of the personal impact to me. My second would be my brother. Mm-hmm. There is no wrestling without him.
Gotcha.
Not in my bloodline.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The first, I don't want to say idol because I don't worship anybody, but the first person I looked up to in the athletic world, because that's all I know is athletics, was my brother because he accomplished, like, I just found out a month ago, he's a 2-time Fargo All-American.
Heck yeah.
I didn't even know he knew what Fargo was.
I didn't know that.
So he did it in Greco twice, 99 and 98.
I need to put him on the wall.
Well, state champs.
Yeah.
Billy Sullivan had posted everybody in Nevada who's ever accomplished it. He's on it twice.
Wow.
And I'm willing to bet you he went with Eddie Gifford because Eddie Gifford did it.
He did it too.
Same time.
Yep.
So he had to go with the Giffords because
cool.
They grew up right down the street from them.
Yep.
Okay.
East side, baby.
Third is the most influential to me. It's helped my coaching career, and no matter what, I've always made the decision because of this man, Coach Bobby Helm. Mm-hmm. He is the greatest coach I've ever had because he did what needed to be done. Me and him almost fought when I was a senior. He pushed me, and I pushed him back. I made the decision I'm fighting this guy because how he went about things. But from that moment on, 110% wasn't enough, and he unlocked everything there was to unlock me because I respected a man that would do whatever it took to break me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
To build you up better.
For me, he cared so much about me. He loved me so much it wasn't words. He was willing to do the job.
So that's 3. Rushmore has 4.
The last one is my boys.
Yeah.
The Osorio boys. And the reason is
they're young, so they fit in one package?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can't, they both have taught me 2 different lessons. Mm-hmm. Yachty got me back into wrestling so that I can learn everything and give it down to him. Had there be a day, pray to God that he came and asked me for help. That day has already come. Prayer is fulfilled. I went in to learn as much as I am, and this is why I ask so many questions and why I geek out, right? When I get around better wrestlers and I ask all the questions I do because I want to know the answers. This is why, like, Jackson Maxey was the first one at LOG that I watched just wrestle. Mm-hmm. I'm a person that if I see it, I understand what is happening. Mm-hmm. When I wrestled, scrambling wasn't a big thing.
Right.
I'd wrestle to a lot of stalemates because I didn't know.
You just hold on.
Yep. Askren was making it a thing. I've
Yeah.
watched like the Anisettis would scramble
Yep.
a little bit, but there was no high-end elite scrambling.
Yeah, the Abbas roll was still
It
pretty
was
young.
starting,
Yeah.
right? It was starting to trickle down to this, what we know as today.
Yep.
So all that kind of stuff, I got back into the sport so I could give Yachty everything. No, it wasn't planned, but Noah happened. Noah is my personality. The more violence, the better. And these two, I got a tattoo, right, of headgear with the state of Nevada because that's where we're from, and with their favorite colors on it. We didn't need wrestling to have a bond, but because of wrestling, we're unbreakable, right? And every day I've had 2 bad blow-ups as a father, and I'm learning how to eliminate those. You know who's real critical to me on this one is Coach Mackey. Mackey, the leveling system that he taught me, I haven't had an outburst since, right? Allowing you to take over the corner and Quran, I haven't had an outburst since, right?
It's different when you're in the corner of your kid, man.
Yeah,
It is.
and I think now I'm prepping to be in the corner to where it's not father and son.
It's a non-issue.
It's coach
It's an
and,
athlete.
Yep, coach and Yachty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where there is no emotion, because right. And this is going to be hard for some people to understand, especially if you know me, especially if you've seen the outburst. Him losing does not bother me. Him or Yachty. It's how the loss happens.
100%.
So
I get it.
You know, when Yachty was up 7-3 at the state semis.
Oh, that was
and
rough.
he started crying.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he lost the match. It's that he was in complete control of the match. Made one mistake, gave the kid, you know, the escape. Well, not the escape. We cut him.
Yeah.
And we gave him the reversal. That was super critical.
Yeah.
And no worries, dude. Like we're up 4.
We're still in it.
No
but he
problem.
Quit right there.
He quit on himself
Yep.
because his feelings got hurt because he made a mistake.
We talked about it.
You know what I mean? Me and you have gone over this. So it's
Well, I talked to Yachty about it.
Yeah, it's how they lose, and is it because they quit on themselves? Are they fearful? Or are they too anxious? And Martinelli talked to Yachty because he said it's the worst case he's ever seen.
Yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know, I do not play a role in this. I actually, on the mental side, me and Yachty, I will talk to him about wrestling. I'll make him provide me the answers. If not, I walk away.
Yeah.
Because I don't want him to think that I'm forcing him to do this or he's got to fulfill my goals of him.
Right.
He's already past him and Noah, past what I ever was, because they can score on demand.
Our sons, not just ours, but sons in general, try to find what we're looking to hear or what they think we want to hear, and that becomes an issue.
Yeah, and then like Noah, man, he's easier. He does cry when he loses a little bit. It's not
just
often.
Means he cares.
Yeah, you know, and I tell him all the time, we just got to focus up. So we got to figure out what's the best way for you to focus and have fun because he's that guy.
Yeah.
He's got to make jokes. He's got like we're teaching, you know, let's just say a bar, and he's like, Coach, like how does this help my blast double?
Yeah.
That's Noah.
Yeah, that's fun.
He's gonna ask something ignorant like that just to be funny, and he's gonna make the room laugh. But it doesn't mean he's not dialed in. But he doesn't ask questions like the focus or whatever the disconnect is, right? He's easier to talk to than Yachty. Yachty lives, breathes. This is all he wants.
Yeah.
Right. So I have to find as a father, right? Because
he doesn't verbalize it well.
I didn't have a blueprint. Like I don't know how do you do this. I don't know what failing's like, and I don't know what success is. So I'm learning on the fly, and you know what was very critical to that was Coach Mackey. The levels thing has straightened a lot of things out, has fixed a lot of things. Like, man, I'm very grateful for that talk, and I give all credit to Mackey because that was to me, it was the wrong time to approach me. I'm unapproachable when I'm emotional.
Yeah.
I don't like to outburst. I don't like to talk outside of your names. So I just don't talk. And Mackey did what was most difficult to me, and to me that told me he truly cared about me and where I was the direction I was going as a man, to where he didn't care about any of that. He was interrupting, and he was going to be heard, and that's the most respect I can give somebody because he did what was most difficult.
Yeah. Cool.
Sorry, your turn.
For my Rushmore?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, there is no wrestling for me without my dad.
Okay.
Right?
So Pops.
Very hard on our relationship.
Yep.
But it has made me tough.
Yeah.
And it has made me, a little tough and maybe a little manic, you know?
Yeah.
A little mania in there.
Some loose screws for sure.
Yeah, man. I learned how to not manipulate, but motivate. Well, I guess, manipulate is a good word because you have to convince kids that the unattainable is attainable, right? So you have to remove any excuse.
Yep, limitation.
Yeah, and I learned that from my dad because his whole deal when I was a kid is overcome. Are you or will you?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's talked to me about this, so I know some stories.
Will you overcome?
Mhm.
Or are you going to be overcome, Zach? And I've been overcome, dude. I am not perfect. I have messed up.
Mhm.
I have lost matches, big matches.
Yep.
Right? I've won big matches. All of my coaching acumen, right? All of the knowledge started with my dad, right?
Okay.
Number one head. You talk about your first hero, still my hero, Greg Gifford. He's the guy that took me under his wing. He was the best. He was ranked number 6 in the country.
Yeah.
He was the best wrestler. And I'm an oldest son. I didn't have a big brother.
My siblings talk very high of him.
I don't have big brothers, you know.
Actually, the whole Gifford family, to be exact.
Amazing family. Without the Giffords, there is no Southern Nevada wrestling.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
first
revamped
staple.
it. They revamped it in the 90s and early 2000s. They brought it back to life.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. From experiencing his culture change and what he brings to the table, or I don't know if it was him and Eddie thing. I do believe Eddie had told me it was a Greg thing, not so much of him. Well, at Canyon Springs, what we could bet on when we showed up to Vegas or Vegas showed up to us, the whole varsity lineup would be in cowboy hats.
Oh yeah, that was them. That's all
Credit
Greg.
to Greg Gifford.
That's all Greg. He's a cowboy.
Mhm.
I was first married, and he didn't have any. He was just fresh out of ASU and Fresno. He was in town, and he lived right next to Vegas High School. And see, I had coached for 2 years already at Vegas, and my mentor, my coach, stepped down after we took second in state to Cimarron. Who, gosh, man, Britton Longmire, that team was so well coached.
Mhm.
Tim Jeffries and Mike Garcia are 2 of the greatest coaches, not just because they won. They're 2 of the greatest coaches I've ever seen.
Yeah, they had two. They had 2 studs when I was wrestling. One was that
Amazing.
heavyweight. Can't remember his name. The white dude.
Spencer, Neil.
It could be. I couldn't confirm. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I know the stud of my time, Bucket.
Oh yeah.
Bucket.
Bronson Ashton, very good family.
He's
very
like
good
watching a
wrestler.
Maestas brother.
Yeah.
He was scrapping.
Oh, dude, he's a fighter.
Yeah, he was scrapping.
But yeah, my guy, he stepped down, and I remember the day that Coach Thomas told me that he was not going to return. I'm just like floored. I'm like, Coach, we are guaranteed a state title next year. Knapp had just transferred from Gorman because they couldn't afford the education anymore. The NIAA destroyed him and his family by making him sit out that year.
Yeah.
Even though they lived 2 minutes from Vegas.
And he transferred to ECTA, didn't he?
Yeah.
He went to another magnet school.
Yeah.
That's odd.
An
odd ruling.
They were making an example of him.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. There's politics behind it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you don't mess with the big G.
Well, it's not like he was chasing athletics over academics. He was going to another magnet school.
An honors student there.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. I think this ruling is. I think Nevada
it was
needs to
unfair.
learn a lot of things.
Yeah, it was unfair, and it cost him a 4-time state title.
Yeah.
Because he would have done it, and I will tell you that on my Mount Rushmore of the top 5 wrestlers ever, he's on it, man.
Yeah.
He's on it.
From outside of my brother, right? He's the best I've ever seen.
Dude, him and Chris Gifford in my time are the best technical wrestlers and with toughness that I've ever seen in my life.
This is how I would put the Anisettis. Nappy's the greatest I've ever seen. Alex is
the toughest.
He is the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
He is going to sell out.
He's going to pick you up and drop you on your head.
He's going to bring it.
I loved coaching Alex.
He is absolute fireworks.
Yep. Are they perfect? No.
No.
They were kids once too. They did silly things. I did silly things as a kid.
Yeah.
Not to just brush over it, but like we all make mistakes, right? And it's our job to move on. And I am so, and I've told Knapp this a few times, it's so amazing to see where he is. He's an amazing father. He's an amazing husband. And he's a great coach. But anyway, going back, I was like, we got Knapp back. There's no one in this state that can beat us. We were the slam that year, right? There was no one that could touch us. And respect to Coach Thomas. He said, I need to focus on my family. My girls are my new state championship team. My paraphrase, that's how I took what he said.
Yeah.
He chose his family over wrestling. Respect. I went to Greg's house, his little condo that he was renting from Eddie. I said, Greg, you ever thought about coaching? He goes, no, and we're him-hawing around. We were going to freaking Stoney's that night. I was his wingman. He had no friends at that point, right?
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
was still in college or gone.
Well, dude, didn't he train to fight? Like,
yeah, he was fighting, bro. He was in a
it's masculinity, bro. Not everybody wants to be a
No.
friend to somebody that can just smash them.
well, and I got beat up on quite a bit by Greg.
Yeah.
But
You were plenty of examples.
oh yeah, for sure. He goes, well, why do you think I should go? I go, well, you're Greg Gifford for one.
Yeah.
But Greg, I could take over this team. Anybody in the state could take over this team and win it.
Yeah.
But I think you're the only one that could make it better. And he went and interviewed for the job and got the job, man. And it was so cool to co-head coach the JV with my dad and being a varsity assistant that year and the 3 years that he was coaching. The beginning, the catalyst of my wrestling as a coach came from my dad, and it was all revamped by Greg, Eddie, Joe Guichardo, and Gerardo Lopez, Knapp and Alex's uncle.
Yeah.
And the staff that year, man. Like,
You guys were elite.
Oh, dude. And I learned how to be an elite coach.
Yeah.
I am able to coach elite wrestlers. Am I better than the kids I coach? That's not the goal.
Yeah.
The goal is to make them 10 times better than I ever was,
Mhm.
right? And I've succeeded in that a few times.
Yeah, when we practiced for you guys, Schultz and Coach Bobby, it wasn't too out technical, you guys, nothing like that. It was 1,000% from first whistle to last whistle.
You got to go hard.
You're scrapping.
Yeah, you got to get into a fight.
Black eye, whatever it took.
Yeah.
Right. And we geared up for that.
With Knapp and Alex being said, like that team, like we had Trey McElhaney, who
Oh, I know.
was a monster.
I almost got bumped up to wrestle Prieto.
Prieto.
Oh my
Prieto was a
gosh.
freshman when I was a senior, and he came in, and he's a judo guy.
Yeah.
And I've never been thrown like that. I was like, holy moly, this kid is amazing.
The captain shut that down as soon as Schultz brought it up. I was like, that can't
No
happen.
thanks, no thanks.
That's not happening.
But we had Nate Garcia, who is I was his family.
Yeah, he looks just like my brother.
Yeah.
If
No,
you-
100%.
you
They
see them in high
wrestle
school?
like, yeah.
If you see them in high school, they are identical.
Nathan Garcia, his two older brothers were my wrestling partners, and they come from a storied family, the El Dorado dynasty in the desert. They came to Vegas. We had the same mindset. But D'Armond Hall, 4-time state placer, 3-time state finalist, never a state champ, but 186 wins, right? Dude, this team was so amazing. So anyway, Greg Gifford's my number 2 for my life. Recently, so I always looked up to this guy, but recently, Mike Abrams would be the next one up because he is, he was a friend to me. He's 62, 63 years old, still beating my butt. You know what
I don't
mean?
know anything about him, but he's a legend. He's like a
People
talk.
People know,
Yeah.
right? I can say that he started the Cheyenne dynasty. They took their youth team to Mojave and they took second, first.
Yeah.
With the team that him and Murray and
That was Powers in that time,
yeah,
right?
that was all them. They came from his youth program, and he's had a storied career. I watched him bring young, aimless kids, right? Kids that if they didn't have wrestling, would be in jail, right?
Yeah.
If they didn't have wrestling, they'd be getting girls pregnant, right? If they didn't have wrestling, they'd be doing drugs. He took those kids and he made them state finalists,
Yeah.
right?
That's what Coach Bobby did. He branched out of
What else do
Doolittle
you
to
want,
us.
bro? What else do you want? No, he never won a state title as a coach. But dude, everyone knows he's the guy.
Yeah.
And I can say that coaching with him for 4 years was probably the most edifying I have ever felt as a coach. He would sit me down and we'd talk, dude, like this.
Yeah.
But we would talk, and he's a Christian. He's a phenomenal human being. And this is recent, right? Because if you asked me 10 years ago, I don't even know the guy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's the boat I am. I know of the legend, but that's
he's impactful. What I can tell you is he's impactful, and he was my wrestling partner when I'm, throwing my my last hurrah at UNLV, and he's just a hammer, bro. Like at 62, we're going blow for blow. I did take him down. If he ever listens, I got a takedown. All right, I did, and I didn't realize how big an impact that was because he beat the snot out of me for like the next 6 minutes. But he's got 3 takedowns on Dave Schultz in the same match. You know, this dude is, and again, he's a character coach. He's not just going to sit there and go, might makes right, go out there and just win. He's talking you through he's a student of the sport. He's still evolving. He's still growing. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's my number 3. And you know, I only got 1 spot left, man. This is kind of crazy. I got to think because there's so many people. I got Diarmand's dad, Marco, my uncle Bobby. I just got to throw some names out there, man. Kerry and Sean Dreisler, Dougie Jackson. Dougie Jackson was the only guy to ever just relentlessly beat me down for an hour and a half, besides Greg, you know.
Yeah.
And these guys all had impacts on me. Dude. It's hard. It's hard. Sorry for dead air, man. I don't throw these things around lightly.
Well, no matter what, it's just most influential to you. Like, you know, I had a hard time using my boys as one, but I think ultimately that outweighs some factors for me. I know the one I thought about was Napoleon because I witnessed. I witnessed him wrestling, and I just think, you know, granted, I didn't see too much wrestling until now, but he was the best I ever seen, you know, without a doubt.
It could be somebody I coached then?
It could be whatever.
Then it's Antonio Saldate. I grew with this young man.
I actually would have bet that he was on here.
Yeah? You would have bet money?
Yeah, you made me nervous with number 4, but...
Well, I didn't know it could be one of my athletes,
yeah,
right?
I used my boys because I think they involved the wrestling for me. They made me geek out. You know what I mean?
Tony Saldate was introduced to me by Scott Littlefield at a Green Valley Las Vegas football game, the homecoming at Green Valley. That time was out. They shouldn't have kicked that field goal. Just throwing that out there. FGV. Yeah, man, it was baloney. The time was out. They said, oh no, we took a timeout. It was baloney. But I'm sitting there, and I was there to support one of my wrestlers, Jacob Littlefield, and his little brother Cruz, Scott's sons, and Jacob Anderson. There's a bunch of wrestlers on the team, you know, Robbie Kempfer and all those guys. But he introduces me to Tony, and Tony, you know, he's got this swagger. You know, he's got that old school OG swagger, and he's got this flat rim hat on with his button up. And Scott goes, I want to introduce you to my friend Tony.
It sounds a lot like how I met Manny.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I shake Tony's hand. He goes, yeah, you know, his son wrestles for Team GV, you know, this, that, and the other. He lives in Vegas' zone, this, that, and the other. And I'm not a recruiter, bro.
Yeah.
I don't recruit kids. I don't sit here and go, oh, please come to me, right?
And you were still fairly new that...
I was a third-year coach, head coach, right?
Yeah.
7th year overall. And I'm sitting here going, listen, man, I'm going to bloom where I'm planted, and I'm going to win with what I got, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna grow. And he didn't know the team he was coming into.
Yeah.
Right? But he goes, we're Green Valley. I go, hey, you got the greatest youth team in the history of youth teams, bro.
Yeah, GV, that's...
Yeah, I go, hey, good on you. Yeah, I didn't want to sit there and jaw with them, right? Because I'm not sitting here counting other people's money.
Yeah.
Right? I'm focused on my money. I want my guys to grow. And some fallout happened, bro. And I'm coaching freshman football, and little Antonio, what I was calling Saldante, with an N, comes out, and he can't run straight. He's got bow legs. He's tiny. And I'm going, wait, you're the kid? And he goes, yeah, coach, I'm the kid, you know. And that moment on, we started talking, right? He shared with me some of his pet peeves as a youth wrestler, some of the things. He got overlooked a lot, you know. There were guys on that team that were better than him. And
that's how you know you got a stud.
Yeah, and he's talking about, you know, I'm not the best wrestler, but I really want to be, you know. We're playing Clash of Clans, you know, and
I still got one.
Oh yeah, me too. And that year, man, I sat down with Tony in the wrestling room, And I said, I'd like to make your son a state champion. And he kind of scoffed at it. He goes, well, we never beat Wyatt English. We never beat Nico Antuno. We never beat this guy, never beat that guy. I go, okay, we've got aiming points.
Yeah.
I go, my goal is to make him a state champ.
Well, he eliminated like 98% of the rest of the pool with just 4 names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Antonio, that freshman year, is a calling card to what I want to be every day of my life, right?
I actually knew about this kid. You know my cousin Fabian.
Yeah.
I don't know why. For whatever reason, he sent me a YouTube video of Soldalte winning state.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, like I don't know who this kid is.
Yeah.
And he's at Vegas. Like,
He was not supposed to win state.
dude, I forgot why. It was so many years back. I forgot why, but he sent it to me and he said, Fabian's the reason I know who Antonio Soldalte is. I don't know the Soldalte family.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
At that time.
other than the fact that he's a Hispanic kid in a singlet that won state for Vegas again.
Yeah,
You know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what we are. We're East Side, baby.
Well, I mean, in my time, Vegas winning state, that was a normal thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's true. That's true.
That's why I'm like, again, like,
yeah, we were on the rebuild at that point, and I can tell you we got schooled by Wyatt English, who I have a lot of respect for. I love his dad. Ryan is a good man. He's a good coach. We got beat by him 4 times.
yeah.
In 1 year. We lost to Nico twice. One time we got embarrassed in the Bulldog Grappler finals, dude. It was rough.
Yeah, I saw this scenario play out one other time, and I have so much respect for the kid, Revelis from Liberty.
Rudy.
He would not leave Napoleon.
Yeah.
Napoleon beat him 4 times.
Yeah, he wanted him.
He would not do it.
Yeah.
So that's gangster right
Yeah.
there. That's that concept
where are we
of
gonna
chasing
go?
perfection.
What and our discussion, he came in to my room and he was all counters, bro.
Yeah.
He was all just on his heels, waiting for this guy to do something so he could do something.
That's how we score, man.
That's not how we score.
No, that's not how you win state. Yeah,
No.
I understand because I didn't do that.
And so we had to sit down together and blueprint a new Antonio.
Yeah.
Him and I sat down and we created his style. We took the stuff that he loved and that he was good at, because there was some stuff that he loved from youth wrestling that was no good.
Head and arm is the first thing that comes to head.
No, dude, he would let
No, I'm
guys
not talking
get in
about for him.
Yeah, he would let kids get in on his legs, give up to get a reversal. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like,
I got him right where I want him.
yeah, he's like, no, this is my favorite position. I'm like, that position is futile. We're giving up 2 to get 2. We're not doing it anymore.
Yeah, 0-0 still.
Yeah,
I
we're not
understand.
doing it anymore. He's like, well, when I get on top, I go, you let him go, bro. You let him go. You're down 3-2 now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
losing this exchange. But he's a cerebral young man. Right?
Yeah. He sounds like it when I talk to him.
He's not what you would think from a 3-time state champion, right? He is going to he picked the guys up around him.
Yeah.
He created standards. He's the LeBron, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the LeBron. He elevated the room, not because he was the best wrestler, because he wasn't his freshman year.
Yeah.
Okay. He ended the best wrestler. Dude, it gives me chills, bro.
He's a 3-timer, yeah.
He's a 3-timer.
So he quickly got to the best.
He became something he wasn't.
Yeah.
We avenged our loss to Wyatt in the region finals.
Mm-hmm.
Wyatt had a big cut. There was a lot of factors. We capitalized, right?
Yeah.
We go to state. We're the number 1 seed. Nico had a bad tournament over at Sunset. Guess what he is? He's the 3 seed. Guess who we got first round? Nico. Not only do we beat him, we major him. Then he walks into the semis against a Arbor View kid that I don't know.
Yeah.
Tex him, right? Who do we got in the state finals? Wyatt English. Not only does he beat everybody on his side, who was Jacob Ruiz, right? Eventual state champ, 2-time, right? He beats AJ Bautista, who is a senior at 106, super tough, right? To meet us in the finals. And as much as I had watched film on Wyatt all year, as much as we had game planned for Wyatt, to his credit, Wyatt came out to wrestle, bro. And we went to overtime. And
There's not a better way to do it.
No, dude, that's how I won my title.
Yeah.
So we go to overtime because we're about to turn this kid, bro. We're about to turn him, and we can't do it. We can't do it. Time runs out. I'm like, dang it, dude. I'm losing it in the.
So it goes to right out?
It's going to first overtime right now.
Okay.
We were the first match. We're 106, right?
Yeah,
we're the first match in the state finals, so everyone's
way to
watching.
set the bar.
Dude.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, okay, we can't do this. We can't do this because those are his go-to defenses.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, think outside the box. So we circle him to the edge. Boom, 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 boom. Get to the edge. We turn, and when we know Wyatt, man, he's a kind of a gangster on the mat, right? He wants to shove you off.
Yeah.
Right when he goes to shove, he pulls a head and arm.
Oh, the
Right
head and
over,
arm
bro.
one state.
Dude, his head and arm one state.
Oh,
it was
man.
the second time he had thrown the head and arm in the year.
Yeah.
The other time, guess who he beat? Virgin Valley?
Oh, Woods.
No. 4-time state champ. UVU wrestler.
No, I don't know.
He's coaching there now.
Skyler. No, Skyler went to Oregon.
Mm-mm. He's a young guy. I'll let you think about that. He is a great wrestler. But the 2 times he threw a head and arm, he beat 2 great guys. And I'm not going to bring up his name out of respect.
Yeah.
Okay, because I respect the kid.
Okay.
He's coaching there right now. He's doing a great job. But the 2 times he pulled a headlock, he beat 2 state champs. And, dude, I think I was like 6 feet off the air, up in the air when I'm jumping, right?
Yeah.
But that was the start of a monumental year the next year,
Yeah, it's
right?
your first state champ.
Well, that was not my first state champ. My first state champ was CJ Cadet. He also,
Okay. I got these 2 mixed up. Yeah.
CJ Cadet beat Omid Shamazad from Cimarron.
Yeah, what a name.
Yeah, what a stud he was. He beat him, and then Alex was my second state champ. He won it, beating Terry Mason in the state finals in overtime.
Yeah.
Right? I guess that's just our thing. We win in overtime.
Yeah.
But
There's not a better way.
then Antonio Hadagi was my third. Antonio was my
Gangster.
fourth, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ant is a
Man,
gangster.
these are a list of gangsters.
Yeah, these guys are hard hitters, man.
I can't talk to this dude about college football. He is too heated. USC
Oh, yeah.
guy.
Oh, he's a football player.
Oh, yeah, he's USC guy.
He was a free safety. But anyway, I started growing with Antonio and that team. It was a very special team, man. And then the year after, with Antonio came Jacob Alvarado. We call him Caddy. Also a Team GV guy that was kind of overlooked a lot because he was kind of pudgy. And, we got him to the state finals, right? Again, Antonio brought everyone up around him. And he was the anvil that I would take my sledge to and just hammer over and over and over, and he'd never break.
Yeah.
And everyone around him saw it. Every partner he had, he didn't just go to the best partner in the room, bro. That was the best thing. He was spreading his acumen, his wrestling knowledge to everyone he wrestled every day.
It sounds like our Adrian. Yeah.
Dude, he's a leader. You can't buy that. You can be a better wrestler than Antonio, but you can't be a better leader.
Yeah.
Right? And there are far better wrestlers than Antonio Saldate that have come through Nevada. Fewer better leaders. He loses his junior year. There's a lot to be. I have nightmares about this match. We talk about this match. But movie finish, bro. Who do you get in the state finals the year after? The kid that beat you. Right? Kid that beat you. I tell you, I watched a lot of film on Wyatt English. I watched 8 times more film on Jacob Ruiz. And I was attacking Antonio throughout the school day because you know what he beat us on is an underhook and a pass by to a low level. I was attacking this young man to the point where they thought we were fighting, right?
Yeah.
I would go into his world history class, boom, digging underhooks, and he's like, boom, 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 defending, right? And at first he couldn't get out of it, but by the end of
That's funny that's what beat him, and that's his younger brother's
go-to.
Yeah. I know Manny underhooking, digging everybody.
Yeah, underhooks.
Oh man.
And his is a cleared elbow, far ankle.
I'm not talking about go-to move.
Gotcha.
I just see Manny just beats up, digs the underhook, digs the underhook.
You own people. You own people in that move, and we were owned, and it was hard, bro. But that the junior year, I can go on record and say is the hardest year for most young men, especially wrestlers, because you're not the guy, you're not the senior, but you're not an underclassman anymore, right? So there are pressures that just come, right, with being a junior in high school. And some kids rise to the occasion, some kids don't, right?
Yeah.
He was still an amazing wrestler, but And he could tell you he worked a little less hard that year because he was already a two-timer.
Yeah.
And the fatal flaw that most of us go through is once you've been there, you think that it's owed to you, right?
Yeah.
Or that people are going to lay down for you, and people don't. They don't give a crap about what you did last
Yeah,
year.
it's
They
like
don't, what have you done for me lately?
it's like the best way to attack a crocodile or alligator is after they eat, because
Right.
they're defenseless.
Exactly. They're
Content.
immobile. Yeah.
Yep, content.
And they're digesting, you know.
Yep.
And something I stole from my good friend Martine, my assistant coach, is hungry dogs hunt best.
Yeah. It's
Right.
like lions. They hunt for the thrill.
Yeah.
They don't always eat.
Yeah. But if you take a hungry dog hunting, you're getting food. You take a full dog hunting, you ain't getting nothing.
Yeah, they don't care.
Right? Yeah, they don't want it. Right? And the best thing that could have ever happened to Antonio Saldate is losing that match. The greatest thing that could ever happen to any young man is to lose the big one, right? And have a year to redeem yourself. So we met him in the state finals. I remember talking to Tony at the Orleans, right? And Tony looks down at me. What nobody knows is Antonio, his first match, tore his meniscus, right? Tears his meniscus wrestling some kid from Reed, right? And then he beats Anthony Sissom, who is a stud, right, in the semis, who is Jacob Ruiz's partner, who has been practicing just to upset Antonio.
To
right?
wrestle Ruiz.
To wrestle Ruiz. So that Jacob may not have to wrestle him, right? It's a good coaching tactic. Lamelli's a great coach. We meet him in the finals, right? And Tony leans down before the match is starting. He goes, "What do you think?" I go, "It's our day today."
Yeah.
He may have beat us yesterday, tomorrow, not today. Today's our day.
What was the score?
We majored him. Well, I think it was
Without, no question.
yeah.
No question.
It could have been worse.
Yeah.
It was 11-3, I believe.
Yeah.
And we had him in what we call a rocket, right? This is his move from youth that he brought up. It's Coach Joe Cannon. Thank God for Coach Joe Cannon. He's got him in this rocket, right? And he's about to send it. I tell him, "You don't need it. Secure it." So he rides this kid out for the last 20 seconds. And he gets up and he does a bow to everyone in the stands. And that's it. 198 wins for a kid that was never supposed to be a champion.
That's dope. He went to CBU, yeah?
Yeah.
And then transferred to Life?
Yep. He's currently coaching up in the north, doing an amazing job.
Yeah, congratulate him at the Open.
Dude, I can tell you right now, man, few people would be remiss to call him a bad coach, right? Few people would be lucky enough to call Antonio Saldate their coach, right? And I had pipe dreams, right? But sometimes, the luster of other things are bigger, right? I always wanted to coach with Antonio. I got my wish, right? So I just have to be content with what I got. Manny's first year wrestling at Slam, he's a freshman. We're at we actually got suspended for wrestling on Sunday.
Yeah, Bees of the East.
Yeah, and Manny's wrestling at 5 counties, and I get to come in the second day because that was when our suspension was up. And I get to sit in the corner for 3 matches with none other than my boy Ant, right? And we get to coach his brother to the title that he won his senior year. Manny won his freshman year. It's amazing, dude. Just God is so good, man. You don't ask God for a fish and he give you a snake, right? I asked to coach with Antonio one day, and I got that. You know? So, love the kid. He's on my Mount Rushmore.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate the time you took for this. This was my first one. I knew I had to pick somebody of your status or even equivalent to or higher to get this going, because when we opened the door and the floodgates to wrestlers or other coaches, we kind of had to set a standard.
Yeah.
Right? I thought of like you, Greg. I thought of
I'd love to hear Greg.
Coach Joe.
Yeah.
Thought of Bill and all his accolades. Napoleon. Either Anicetti.
You know who
brother.
I'd love to hear you interview is Anthony Anicetti. If you could work that, I'd love that.
He's
that's my request.
When I met the brothers, Alex and Nappy, he was a baby.
Yeah.
I've known them for a long time, man. He was a baby, so I didn't.
He had a little rat tail.
I didn't get to grow up with him or actually know him.
That's a
and
great interview.
tell the club. You know what I mean? So that was, I knew he existed. I couldn't tell you his name. I knew, man, we know Pops as the Buffy PS man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, like, yeah, I've been around them a long time. There was a handful that came. You were gonna be the easiest to set up, and with your dad podcasting, it was
It made sense.
it opened the doors for me to learn everything I needed to.
Yeah, man.
So I could get this going. But I needed somebody of your level who has done stuff and accomplished both as an athlete and as a coach, because that's what I did in my own, and that's kind of what I want. Is I want to create the dialogue and of Nevada first and foremost, but I would love to talk about like everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. This is just the first one, and I'm looking forward to all the other ones I get to do in the future. So I appreciate the time you took, and I thank you for everyone that's listening and checking us out at Caution Stalling.
Glad I could be of service.
Appreciate you guys.